different packages. And the noticeable difference between leg speed between them and the Maggies last week was really on show, and just being able to break away from those packs and put them away. And they gave them those bit more time to hit those targets as you're talking about there, Luke.
It did. They set up so well. Their work off the ball was terrific. And, well, we'll see them in action on a big ground today, Gussie. So we're not too far away now.
2 minutes from the bounce of the ball. Players are in their huddles. Freaky, we spoke before that we went to the last break. We do expect a player to go inside forward 50. That is not a traditional forward, and you and I seem to be on a similar wavelength from the fact we think Lee Masters might try and stretch Yarrawonga going inside forward 50 today.
Yeah, absolutely. We have absolutely just a genuine guess from us, Gussie. But yeah, just looking from the outside, looking in, the Raiders, they don't really have that big forward, and they might look to really to stretch him in that forward half and push a Masters or a Casey, as you touched on, and move him down there. So it'll be interesting to see how they line up at this and the opening bounce of the game and just see something. But that could be something, Gussie, as we touched on, that they may do as the game works on. They might, the first half or a little bit, just use the new system that Stevie J is implementing in this Pigeons side, and then they can see if they want to move the magnets around a little bit as the game wears on.
Boundary sign for the Newmarket Hotel, Sky Burgess. A tip from you this afternoon?
Pains me to say it, but I reckon Yarrawonga by, can I be nice? I'll go 60.
Luke Francis from McRae Motors on O&M Live.
Yeah, Yarrawonga comfortably, Gussie.
Brad Freak on the 40-wing stat sheet this afternoon.
Yeah, I'll have to go the Pigeons.
I think I'll be tipping the Yarrawonga Pigeons as well. I've got a feeling things could get ugly today. I'm expecting a 100-point blitzing from the Yarrawonga Pigeons. I reckon they're going to try and really stamp their mark on the competition in season 2023. Freaky, looks like we're going to see the traditional forward line form of Williams and Pendergast as the two keys, but Nick Fothergill is making his way down towards the forward line alongside Cameron Wilson, and they're going to form a really formidable attack. And I like this midfield. Wheeler, and of course the former coach in Mark Wiley lining up with Lockie Howe. It's going to be a cracking battle to watch these two midfields go at it. The young and inexperienced outfit coming up against one of the best in the business. Not too far away now. Players are making their way towards their positions here at the Birrelea Park in Wodonga. Great to have your company on 1494 2AY. The first quarter's coming your way thanks to A-grade oils and batteries. Umpire holds the Sharon aloft. You're on O&M Live with Luke Francis.
And away we go. It's Howe and Hickey to do battle in the ruck at Birrelea Park on a Saturday afternoon. And we'll say that one broke even. And Harry Wheeler grabs it and is brought to ground, and the umpire will call for it. Howe got the best of it, down to Willie Wheeler, who was so good against the Magpies 7 days ago. Brad St. John over him, and again, we'll have another whistle. So, good numbers around this stoppage in the heart of Birrelea Park. Howe. And then I thought Willie Wheeler's being held by the arm. Umpire said play on Hickey. Straight on the boot, so the Raiders go forward. And then just bounced over Whitshead. Forge got it on to O'Dwyer, and they come out this way to Einspawn.
Einspawn comes down the broadcast side wing trying to find Coburn. He stayed at ground level. Cam Wilson couldn't be clean, and the ball spills out of bounds for a boundary throw in true centre wing broadcast side. Yeah, you see there the Raiders a really good start there. I let him Hickey get the first centre clearance, but the Yarrawonga defence was fairly organised to get the ball down the wing, and Ryan Einspawn has been outstanding for the Pigeons to start this year as well, across half-back in the wing.
Great view of this one, down in front of our broadcast position. And the field umpire has asked for the boundary umpire for a second throw in. So we have a double take here. Let's see what the young man can do here. That one's a beauty. Hickey, Howe. Hickey easily just grabbed it out of the ruck. Then a wild hand pass picked up by Bruce though for the Pigeons. To Forge, to Wiley. Want to lose a bit of ground here. Einspawn got brought down by Glass. Phillips' kick got smothered. Einspawn goes again for the hoops. Spills one out to Harry Wheeler. And here goes Fraunfelder to Wiley. Back to Fraunfelder. Look at these handballs. Pigeons are out here at centre half forward. And Willie Wheeler drives it forward. Long kick. Williams one out with Waters. Too easy. No, he dropped it, Williams. So Waters in the end came out on top, if you like. Alex Daly gets wrapped up by Cam Williams. Cam Wilson, I should say, and we'll have a ball up, Gussie.
We can see there just the ball movement from the Yarrawonga Pigeons when they get their prime movers involved. Obviously, as you touched on there, Wiley and Fraunfelder linking up to get the ball inside 50.
Williams out of the ruck to Timmy Lawrence, throws on the left boot towards the top of the square, and Pendergast can't quite get there. It sees across the line for a minor score. It's the first score on the Steel Line scoreboard. It falls the way of the Yarrawonga Pigeons. They lead one behind, so the Raiders yet to score. We've played 2.5 minutes on the Macca's time clock, and the Yarrawonga Pigeons, they're into defence as Daly marks across half-back for the Raiders. Luke?
Yep, so they're on the half-back flank now, Gussie, through Taylor. On the outer side, back into Brad St John. Still inside defensive 50 now. Moves it on to Cooper Daly, right on the arc of defensive 50. Brad St John has run on, good footy. He wants to come out this way and finds a man in Hickey. A man who started in the ruck this afternoon, wants to angle inboard. Kick wasn't great. Asked a bit of Glass. Taylor picked it up, didn't get it to boot. Glass goes in again. Conway is there, he's got hands on it. Ironspawn was at the bottom of it. Play goes on and Howe takes the mark.
Luke Francis calling the action from McRae Motors and O&M Live as Howe marks true centre wing broadcast side. Tim Lawrence appeared on the 45-degree angle and Lawrence goes inside forward 50. Pendergast on the second bite of the cherry wasn't strong enough. Daly come through. It was Alex for the Raiders. Links up with young Charlie St John, who heads out to the outer side of the Birrelly Park. Right foot kick goes long down the line in the Burke direction. Who's taken it out in front. In fact, that one was Whitstead, who shovels it out wide. Charlie St John's continued his run. Now Burke, the others inside forward 50, left it behind. Fronfelder, it's a forge. And the Pigeons want to play a methodical style of football here. They're tied up in the boundary line, and it's going to be Masters to exit defensive 50.
He does. And then the Raiders pick up possession through Whitstead. Then on the boot, about a 25-metre kick, but Lee Masters picks it off, as we see him so often do. And he goes down the line with about a 20-metre one. Picks up Casey with a low ball, plays on. And this is to Frauenfelder. And then Bailey, another 20-metre kick to Bruce. So Ryan's with the ball now, so they're working it down the outer side here, the Pigeons. And now a bit longer kick up to the half-forward flank. It's turned over to Conway. Like the look of this guy on Anzac Day, guys. He really had a dip for the Raiders, and he retreats now to Alex Daly.
Freaky, interesting. The Yarrawonga Pigeons are really falling down with that kick coming from the wing in towards half forward.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to hit their targets moving forward at the moment. We've seen this a little bit from the Raiders already, looking to transition the ball across the field as well. Just don't want to turn it over in a dangerous position as they have.
Looks like it's going to be Ironspawn, the recipient of the free kick for the Pigeons. 75 from home, goes in the Williams direction. He's got to beat 4. The 4 prevail. Falls the way of Cam Wilson, who dribbles it towards goal. That's across the face once again for a minor score. So the Raiders, they're going to play on quickly from defence, and they hold a 2-0 lead on the steel line scoreboard, Lukey.
Phillips with a long ball. He stands out for that bleached hair. And then the Pigeons have it through Frauenfelder, so it's coming back. And Bailey, nice delivery. No, it wasn't. Just on a half volley to Harry Willer, but it comes off. Frauenfelder gets it back. Maybe that was by design. And then puts it on the left foot. Nice delivery. Or drop by Pendergast. Picked it up to Cam Wilson on the boot. Snaps a goal. Won't be a major. It's gone through for one behind.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, we're talking about Bailey Frauenfelder and what he's going to do across the half-back line. He's already up to 6 disposals across that half-back line for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Been influential in everything in every forward thrust they've had so far in this game.
We got Williams and Pendergast got a bit of Vaseline on the hands. Two absolute sitters they've dropped inside forward 50. Ball's in the hands now of Ned Conway. I liked his game. Of course, on Anzac Day, he's a VFL listed player with North Melbourne. Kick down the line. Met head on nicely by Jamison Scott, the former Albury Tiger. The Pigeons have numbers and they prevail via Wiley. Inside forward 50 goes the kick. 2-on-1. The 1 prevails. Williams crumbs, snaps and kicks it behind to the near side. So Yarrawonga are dominating going inside forward 50, but yet to register a single major. They lead 4 behinds to the Raiders yet to score on the steel line scoreboard.
Sky Burgess, Brad Freak, Gus McLeod and Luke Francis, brought to you by McRae Motors this afternoon. As the Raiders bring it back in from fullback, Hernan picks up Jamison Scott. So both of those guys playing in blue boots today. They team up again. Hernan, back pocket for the Raiders. The cricket hub end. They treat right back to the goal square. Cooper Daly comes out. 25-metre kick, picking up Twycross, and now they want to move it to the outer side. Nick Brasher is out there. The kick's, well, very ordinary. And the ball's gone out of bounds. We go down to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket Hotel. Sky, you with us?
Yes,
Gotcha.
sorry. My headphones just having it. I thought I was done with technical issues.
Fothergill inside forward 50. His kick is out of bounds on the full. Sky. Not many rotations despite the fact we're at the 7.5-minute mark.
No, Yarrawonga have only done one set of rotations, and Raiders have yet to come to the bench. So keeping those young boys, the legs going while they're out there.
Of course, they're playing the far side, the Emerald Oval side of the Birrelea Park. Lovell got taken high, umpire ignored it. Masters come through, tried to shovel one towards Iron Spawn. Free kick and a whistle. Makes it a ring. The umpire's found a free kick. It's going to go the way of Yarrawonga. In fact, it was Jason Ray. And it's going the way of Lee Masters. The Morris medalist inside forward 50 to the favour of Williams. Got 3 to beat. The Raiders are just sitting in the hole and not giving him a single look. Morey throws it on the boot up towards Willie Wheeler. And Cooper Daly comes in and gets a crucial touch on that. Out of bounds for a boundary throw-in deep in the pocket for the Pigeons.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, Yarrawonga already up to 7 inside 50s, but haven't been able to take a mark inside 50. I think they're being a little bit Lee Williams-centric at the moment and not looking for other options.
Williams, beautiful tap down to Coburn, who put it on the boot. Williams goes again. This time gets it to Wiley, trying to weave through traffic, but the Raiders pinch it. And here's Brad St. John on to Charlie St. John, his brother. So they bring it out nicely to Whitsett. Half-back flank out of sight. Now they move it to centre wing. Nick Brasher, well done. Got rid of his opponent in Lovell. Now this is the one. What can they work forward from here? The Raiders, down the line, they've turned it directly over. And the Pigeons have it, and they come back, Gussie. And it's with Casey.
Casey across left half back. We've played 9 minutes in the first term thanks to Maccas, and we're yet to register a major. Up towards true centre wing. Pendergast gets a kick on that in the nick of time. You heard it through our special effects mic. A 1-2 with Wiley. The ground opens up now for Fothergill. Fothergill kicks fat side in the Williams direction. Williams this time backs back with courage, and that's a better kick going inside forward 50 from Yarrawonga.
The first time in Yarrawonga's play that the Raiders defenders were sucked up the ground a little bit there. We threw that little bit of play with Wiley and Pendergast on the wing here, so they were able to get that little bit of space out the back, and a beautiful kick by Nick Fothergill just over the back of Lee Williams, so he could run back into a little bit of space, outbody his opponent, and he'd take an easy mark.
He's already kicked 13 goals in season 2023, leading the Doug Strang, and probably yet to fire with his best footy. To the cricket hub end, Leroy misses. And the Pigeons have scored 5 minor scores to kickstart proceedings in the first term. They lead 5-0. It's on the Steel Line scoreboard.
Yeah, so yet to kick a major at the cricket hub end. The Pigeons are looking to tidy that up very quickly as Conway has it. Fullback position for the Raiders at Birrelea Park. Wodonga, hope you're enjoying the action. And Conway, oh, good hit. Comes out and fires to Kotzer, the tall man. And then a short one to Taylor. Came off. Nihal manning the mark. Squizzy, just outside defensive 50. He's in 2 minds here. Ordinary kick in the end. It might find the boundary line. Yes, it does. And we'll have a boundary throw-in. So, Freaky, we'll go to you on the 40-wing stats.
Yeah, if we go around the grounds of the other games of the Ovens and Murray at the moment, the game of the McNamara Reserve, Rovers lead by 3 points, 9-6. And down the highway, North Albury get the first goal in that game, leads 7-1.
Blow the siren, Panda will say. North are in front. Howe got the front spot. Indy Kotzer applies some nice pressure on him. He's having a crack at the young 16-year-old on debut. The umpire's found a whistle, will ball the football up. Sky, great to see young Indy Kotzer coming in from Rutherglen, getting a taste at senior football for the Newmarket Hotel.
Yeah, he's literally just come on off the bench for probably a couple of minutes ago, and he's already been in 2 or 3 contests, so it's really good to see him getting involved.
Applies a big tackle on Howe, gets the football up, trying to find Coburn. On hands and knees there is Phillips. And the umpire says we'll have another restart. 55 metres out, favouring Yarrawonga in front of the club rooms at the Birrelea Park.
The ball will probably come back quickly into the Yarrawonga forward half if there's a quick kick out here. Jordan O'Dwyer and Matt Casey are both free behind the ball here, so if Raiders get a quick kick down the line, it might come back pretty quickly.
Glass, try to get Mackenzie, missed him. Brad St. John rolls out in front of him and across the line. So again, we'll have a boundary throw-in. So it's right of our broadcast position on the near side. Let's have a look who can clear the stoppage. Howe, and also Kotzer and Howe. Phillips, Howe brought him down in a strong tackle. Umpire's going to call for it. If you just tuned in on O&M Live, it is Yarrawonga 5 points, 5 behinds, leading the Raiders on the Steel Line scoreboard. On the Macca's time clock, we've gone about 12 and a half.
First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries as Brad St. John kicks the true centre wing, and the Morris medalist Lee Masters chops out. Wants to switch just behind true centre, and he finds Lovell. Out wide to Morey, back in the senior side, wearing the long sleeves today. He's got O'Dwyer on the short 45, which he uses. And now it's a congested forward line that awaits. O'Dwyer opts to pump it into the hot spot. Williams is the target. He brings it to ground level. Fothergill's there. So is Timmy Lawrence. The Raiders have numbers, I should say. Brad St John forced to run into a bit of a tight spot. And Lee Williams with a big crucial smother. Really good defensive work on Brad St John. Boundary throwing deep in the pocket for Yarrawonga.
Jordan O'Dwyer probably had to go a little bit quicker in the middle of the ground there. He had Cam Wilson and a couple other boys just free running through the middle of the ground. Matt Casey, one of them, hit them and you'd be able to have an open shot at goal.
Williams. And now Brad St John. He's been busy early for his team. And swings it outside 50. Howe, though, takes the mark. So the man on the mark would be 70 out. That's Kotzer. Howe, he works his way back in towards for a centering kick, and it goes forward. Now Williams, 2x3, just drops it. McKenzie, it's a ground level. Bruce is all over him. Now he's in trouble. I reckon McKenzie. Nah. Umpire calls for a Gussie.
Really interesting to get your thoughts, gentlemen. They just bomb the football inside forward 50 and hope Leroy can beat 3 or 4 every time at the minute.
They've always got a couple running free at the 50 years old.
Pigeons with it. Wiley, quick one hand out to Timmy Lawrence. Snaps it. Yep. They've got a major now. There's their first. So 11 plays zip on the Steel Line scoreboard. We've gone about 14 minutes on the Macca's time clock as we go down to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket.
Yes, I've just kept an eye on the Yarrawonga bench guys. Lockie Howe's just come off for a rest, so it'll be interesting to see the ruck work now, whether Liam will have a chance to get on top of that.
Just as we were touching on there, Gussie, before, they always seem to have a few open at the top of the 50 Yarrawonga early in this game, but they're looking, as you rightfully say, they're very Lee Williams-centric at the moment, and such a key forward like that. Raiders have obviously planned to fill the hole in front of him, so they've always got men free at the top of the 50 nearly every time they go forward. So it's really going to have to be lowering their eyes, picking their targets, and just really picking through this Raiders defence at the moment.
14 minutes to register the first major. It's gone the way of Lawrence. 14 minutes gone. Macca's time clock. O&M live action brought to you by McRae Motors. And Yarrawonga want to come inboard. Dangerous looking kick. Couldn't quite gather that one was Coburn. Charlie St John, did he get tackled? Umpire said it was fair. Squizzy Taylor shimmies and shakes on the far side of the ground. Kicks up towards half forward. Wasn't the best kick towards Whitstead. Lovell tackled under pressure. The Raiders are having a crack. Brasher, he applied a strong tackle. The umpire said it was strong enough to be rewarded for a free kick holding the footy. And it's going to be Nick Brasher to have a set shot, 45 metres, maybe 50 metres out in a 45-degree angle.
This will be a big kick here for the Raiders, get themselves a bit of confidence, because they have their competitiveness in this game has been great. Their defence has been under a lot of pressure already, 10 inside 50s to 3 on the 40-wing stat sheet. So Nick Brasher can go back and pop this one through for the Raiders and give them really good confidence boost early in this game.
It's going to be probably one of the bigger kicks in the side. Is Nick Brasher coming in from Chilton. Right foot kick, doesn't quite have the legs. In fact, it might. Really good kick, but it's to the near side for a minor score. Nick Brasher registers the first contribution on the Steel Line scoreboard for the Raiders. They trail one behind to Yarrawonga, 1-5-11 on the Steel Line scoreboard.
So the action's at the Emerald Avenue end now. Billy Wheeler to come out from the fullback position. He goes direct, straight up the middle. Wanted Fothergill. Burke interrupted the play though. And then St John, that was Brad. Tried to get it to Kotzer, under pressure from Hempel. Pendergast. Logan Morey hacked it off the ground. Cooper Daly couldn't grab it. Einspawn under pressure to Pendergast. Then out to Hempel. So the Pigeons work it well. Now through Lovell. On the boot. Williams caught at the back. Through his legs in the end. And then Taylor for the Raiders cleaning up to Conway. Back to Taylor.
Squizzy Taylor racking up the 40 winks disposals as he kicks up towards Jamison Scott. Dangerous handball from Scott. Probably not the best. Conway, or Twycross I should say, under a lot of pressure, and he's going to win himself a free kick. He's young Ned. As we go to Brad Freak for a 40-wing stats update. Who's getting him for the Raiders?
Yeah, Brad St John's up to 7 disposals already on the 40-wing stat sheet. Connor Taylor's up to 6 for the Raiders. On the Yarrawonga side of things, Mark Wiley's had 7 and Bailey Frontfelder's had the 6 disposals.
Phillips kicks inboard, finds its way to Alex Jamison, who's got the Emerald Oval and the western side of the ground opening up for Daly. And this is Alex, true centre wing, out of sight of the Birrelea Park. He takes a bounce, takes a second, gets himself to about 60 from home, kicks inside forward 50, but it's a good mark at the back of the pack by Jordan Urquhart. And he chops out what looked like the Raiders' most promising attack of the first quarter, Luke.
It was Gussie. Casey. Whistle. What's the umpire said here?
I'm told he needed to get back on the mark, I think, Luke.
He's been pretty pedantic here, isn't he, Gussie? So Casey now goes with the long dump kick. Pendergast. Too easy for him. Uncontested in the end. Then inboard to Wiley, and Wiley on the boot. Williams one out. Too easy. Just got rid of Waters. Now Williams, he's got a couple running for him. That's Fothergill and Timmy Lawrence. Will they get to it in time? They won't. Another behind. So 12 plays one on the Steel Line scoreboard. Yarra up. And we've gone about 18 minutes on the Macca's time clock.
Lee Williams has kicked 3 behinds, Luke, to start the first term. It's uncharacteristic for the Doug Strang medalist. Conway marks for the Raiders across half back. He kicks up the line. It's chopped out by Morey. 75 from home. His kick was chopped off by Brad St John. Fothergill applied a good tackle. Having a go now was Phillips, but he left it behind. Forge feeds it back towards Mark Wiley, who's probably been the Yarrawonga Pigeons' best. Finds Willie Wheeler, 55 from home. Switches the footy to find Fraunfelder. He loves this spot, Fraunfelder, but he chips it beautifully. And Braden Coburn marks 35 metres out on a slight angle.
Great switch of play there by the Pigeons. And then obviously Bailey Fraunfelder done one thing that we've been talking about all day, Gus. He just lowered his eyes, didn't do the big bomb kick into Lee Williams, just found Braden Coburn in a whole heap of space, which the Pigeons have had all day. They just haven't been able to lower their eyes enough and be able to hit these targets in this first quarter.
Braden Coburn kicking to the Cricket Hub end of the Birrelea Park. Left foot kick, normally a beautiful kick of the footy, but this one is to the right-hand side for a minor score. Yarrawonga 1-7-13 to the Raiders, just one behind thanks to Steel Line.
Yeah, that's right. You heard Gus Cloud correctly. 7 behinds for the Pigeons in the opening term. 1-7. Okay, and the ball's gone out of bounds as the Raiders came out of defence. Freaky, how many Brad St John had now on the 40-wing stats for the Raiders?
He's up to 7 in this first quarter.
Yeah. Ball goes back in for the Pigeons again. Williams, one bite, missed it. Ball out of bounds in the pocket. Almost tied up against the point post. We'll go back down to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket. What's happening down there, Sky?
We've just had Mark Wiley for Yarrawonga come off for a breather. There's a few rotations really starting to come through now. I'm not sure on the Lee Williams matchup with Waters, to be honest. I think they need someone with a bit more height and a bit more strength to man him up. He's been their main source of entry there.
There's another behind goes through. That one's going the way of Willie Wheeler. Believe it or not, Yarrawonga are 1 goal, 8 to start proceedings. And Brad Freak around the grounds in the Tallangatta League. There's a big blowout on the cards with Yakandanda and Wodonga.
Yeah, it looks like Yakandanda have brought up 16-5 at quarter time to 0, so 101 to nothing in quarter time, which, not going to be a great day out there for the Lions of Wodonga.
20 minutes gone, Macca's time clock. The umpire's found a free kick. It's going to go the way of the Raiders. I'm not sure what that one was for, Luke. He might be able to help me, but...
It was in the back, Gussie. Lee Masters just pushed him in the back.
I reckon this is Burke, who's got the footy true centre wing broadcast side. Kicks down the line. Nice strong mark taken out in front by Brasher, who's a long way from home. So he pumps it long down the line. The Raiders want to play the percentages. And Ryan Bruce, who's been one of Yarrawonga's best week in, week out, gets a crucial spoil out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. The Raiders trail 1 behind to Yarrawonga, 1-8-14. Yes, 1-8-14, thanks to Steel Line.
Yeah, that's it. Sky Burgess, Brad Freak, Gus McLeod and Luke Francis, brought to you by McRae Motors. We're at Birrelea Park this afternoon. Wheeler, Harry that was, sees it out in front of Bowie, and the boundary umpire will have it. So we're at the Emerald Avenue end, just outside the 50. Here goes the boundary umpire now, swings it in, one-armed. And Kotzer and also Pendergast cleared them both. Ken Wilson. And then Jamison Scott got a fist to it. Glass coming through. Met a pack of players, that's Sharon. Nick Brasher, there's a whistle here. And there's a free kick going to the Pigeons.
Too high, Lukey.
Thanks, Freaky. So Ryan Bruce will get it. So Ryan in the 14 Guernsey for the Pigeons goes short to O'Dwyer. He's looking to the outer side, O'Dwyer. He misses Forge and gets it to Masters. And then Masters, 20-metre kick up the line to Einsborn. And then they move it. Oh, Timmy Lawrence just beat him. Just over his head. The kick wasn't good enough. And then Glass. And now Harry Wheeler. And the Pigeons go in. Williams, yes. He's got it. So 14 plays 1. Williams with the ball. Freaky, can you give us his stats for now?
Who's that, sorry, Lee?
Goal kicking for Williams.
Yeah, Lee Williams so far in this game, he's kicked the 3 behind, so he'd be looking to hopefully put one through the big sticks. As probably the one blemish on Yarrawonga's game so far today is they haven't been accurate in front of goal, kicking 1 goal 8 to this point of the match.
13 for season 2023, Luke.
Yeah, on the Doug Strang board. That's right, Cassie. In he comes. Make it 14. No mistake there. Absolutely perfect as we go back to Freaky on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, if we go around the grounds quickly at the moment, in the other games in the Ovens and Murray, at the moment, up at the McNamara Reserve, Myrtleford up by 7 points against the Wangrad Rovers, 18-11. And down the road at North Means, a 6-point lead to North Albury, 20-14 early in the first quarter of that game as well.
Sky Burgess is boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel. The players some of them are coming for a much-needed break.
Yeah, they are. The rotations are coming through thick and heavy now, which is to be expected. The boys are at that pointy end in the quarter.
Good work from Sky, boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel. It's going to be Kotzer against Howe. Howe won the tap to Wiley, who's a chance for the Optus quarter's best. Inside forward 50, it's a deep entry. Pendergast brings it to ground. In fact, it was a good strong mark taken by Daly of the Alex variety, and he switches out to Charlie St John, who's a young up-and-comer on the rise. He finds Twycross and he marks across right half back for the Raiders.
Low ball from Twycross. And then Whitset. Turn around, delivered down the line. Good footy to Burke. Centre wing on the far side. And Burke looking for options. He's got a couple inboard. He can come back to Glass. But he's going to go down the line with a long kick here to the arc of the 50. Masters playing in front. Thought he got one around the neck. Howe out the back. Whitset meets him. Howe just got rid of him. Then O'Dwyer back to Forge. Pigeons get out. And Burke takes the mark. So the Raiders will get a chance to come back in, Gussie.
That they certainly do. They're going to go deep inside forward 50. The kick was poor. Allowed Brasher no chance. But Freaky, having watched the way the Raiders have played, this is the style of football they played against the Rovers, and it served them well.
Yeah, it certainly did. Lowering their eyes and hitting the targets that are available in front of them and just taking the right options. That's just what they're doing at the moment. They're playing simple footy, and they're putting plenty of pressure on the ball carrier of Yarrawonga when they get it.
Yarrawonga want to pump the footy long down the line, and it spills out of bounds for a boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position. Yarrawonga lead 2-8-20 to the Raiders, just one behind. It's on the steel line scoreboard. And to bring us back into play on O&M Live for McRae Motors is Luke Francis.
Yeah, round 4 O&M action here at Burleigh Park. Howe and Kotzer got the best of it. Fothergill after it now. Goes back to Forge. Gets around Bowie. No, he doesn't. Bowie got him. Well done. What's the umpire going to say? Just gone out of bounds. So Bowie unlucky to get the free kick. And Raiders don't win possession. Let's see what they can do here. So the boundary umpire has it. Just left of the interchange gates on the near side, or our broadcast side. In it comes. Howe, front spot, just grabbed it. We spoke about this pre-game. Off to Wiley. Now to Fothergill, over the top to Cam Wilson, back to Fothergill. Good work from the Pigeons. Now they go forward. Pendergast is down there, over the back. Alex Daly couldn't grab it. Timmy Lawrence on the left. Has he got a second? No, he hasn't. It's across the face, and it's gone through for one behind.
We just saw at that last stoppage, Cam Wilson and Nick Fothergill just got a little bit too much space away from their Raiders opponents. They were able to get the ball out of there, and that's probably one of the best passages play Yarrawonga's put together in this game. Lowered their eyes, hit their targets, made the right choices, and had probably a pretty easy shot on goal that they should have converted.
Squizzy Taylor, head over to Sharon, gathers now for the Raiders. Had no one in support, has to handball towards the boundary line. Howe and Wheeler, they could have raffled that one. Howe opted to pick it up. And they're wrapped up in a big tackle. We'll ball the footy up right in front of the club rooms here at the Burleigh Park in Wodonga. Umpire throws it aloft. Cots up, tapped it down towards Wiley, who's been electric in this first quarter. Howe's gang tackled. We'll have another restart. 21 plays 1 on the steel line scoreboard. Yarrawonga lead, and umpire Jason Rain will throw the footy up. 10 metres in from the boundary. Howe taps it down to Wheeler. Got it on to Wilson. Little underground one back to Willie. His kick was smothered off the boot, but he had another crack at this one. Coburn tries to keep it alive cleverly. The Raiders have numbers and then an exit defensive 50.
They do. Whitsad and Ironsbourne sitting under it. Siren's gone, and that brings the first break at Burleigh Park. So at the quarter time break, it is the Yarrawonga Pigeons 2-9-21 with the lead over the Raiders, 1 behind. We'll get to a break on O&M Live, and remember, on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
inspiring,
hands-on,
flexible, fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Mike's Alive.
2AY. Welcome back to the Birrelea Park in Wodonga. Quarter time between the Pigeons and the Raiders sees Yarrawonga lead 2-9-21 to the Raiders, just one behind. Brad Freak, your Optus quarters, best for your local Optus stores, Albury, Wodonga, and, of course, Wangaratta.
Yeah, we'll start with the Yarrawonga Pigeon that first quarter. I thought Mark Wiley in the middle of the ground was really influential for him. I'm really liking the different roles that he's playing this year for the Pigeons as well. He's been outstanding. And Timmy Lawrence across that half-forward line has been very lively early, kicked one goal and had 2 other shots which he's unfortunately put behind the stick for behinds. For the Raiders side of the things, Brad St. John and Connor Taylor for mine have both been fantastic for the Raiders in that first quarter. If we have a look at the 40 Winks stat sheet for that first quarter, it really is dominated from a lot of Yarrawonga players and in the team statistics as well. That there were 17 inside 50s to 6 in that first quarter, but only the 3 marks inside forward 50, which is a little bit of a trend that I've noticed in their play throughout the year, having a lot of ball going forward, but just aren't hitting their targets. As we touched on, Mark Wiley had the 12 disposals, who leads our stat sheet, and 7 to Bailey Frontfelder, and 6 to Masters and Harry Wheeler for the Raiders. Connor Taylor and Brad St. John both have 7 disposals each.
We'll go boundary side. Sky Burgess for the new Market Hotel. She's running off the ground. Someone's going to steal her stuff.
No, I just had to check something, but you've thrown me under the bus anyway.
Well, Sky, we'll cross to you in a second. We'll just go quickly around the grounds thanks to our good friends at McRae Motors. Quarter time. Scores are level between the Magpies and the Hoppers at 20 apiece, and the Alpine Saints lead by 1 point over the Rovers, 3-1 to 2-6 at quarter time. Sky for the Newmarket Hotel. What did Stevie J and the coaching staff at Yarrawonga have to say during the break?
Yeah, he was pretty happy with the boys. He knows they didn't capitalise, but that's something they can improve on from here. He spoke a lot about their forward line to, when it's a one-on-one, to bang it in quickly, but when they've got that contested ball and a lot of Raiders numbers back, to just look off the line and pick a better option. They've made an interesting change. They've put Matthew Casey down into the forward line, so just trying to expose that lack of height from the Raiders, I think.
I'll tell you this one for free, Freaky. We did say that was going to happen.
Well, we had a bit of an idea, as Sky just rightfully said there. That size that they have advantage in the back half of the Yarrawonga may as well move one of those boys to the forward half and give themselves another option as well. Obviously, once Ned Pendergast gets down there as well, which he's lining up down there at the moment, it makes it a really lively forward line with the likes of Cam Wilson, Coburn down there as well, and Timmy Lawrence. So, and when Fothergill floats through there as well, it gives them a really lively forward half. And yeah, an extra tall is going to take that a little bit more of attention off, but it is going to be more important now that they do lower those eyes a little bit and reward those leads from Casey and Pendergast, so that it all flows down the train and gives Lee Williams that little bit more space.
We do expect Yarrawonga to probably be able to have a bit more help inside forward 50. It looks like Casey will go to the goal square and they'll try and get Williams up the ground a little bit more, Lukey, which is an interesting move.
Yeah, it is, Gussie, that's right. So Casey, another tall, that's right, playing deeper at the Emerald Avenue end.
With Pendergast.
So it's a 3-prong tall attack down there at the moment. So that's a headache for any team in the O&M.
Certainly is. We're underway in the second term for Wodonga Pumps and Mowers. You're with Luke Francis on O&M Live.
Howe, left foot, but it was snavelled by Brad St. John on the boot to the half-forward flank to the Raiders. Forge got a bugger of a bounce, and then Burke, he got a fist to it. Forge goes again. Burke right on his tail. And the ball has gone out of bounds. Freaky, just give us the stats leader for the first quarter on the 40-wing stats.
Yeah, Mark Wiley had 12 disposals for the Pigeons. He was outstanding in the first quarter. Probably the best player on the ground to start the game.
34 seconds go on Macca's time clock. Howe won the tap to ground level. Indy Kotzer was strong. Ball pinballing around. Yarrawonga trying to gain some yards, can't quite do so. Kotzer head over the football, smothered by Wiley, who comes through. Coburn had a crack at it as well, and now it's Conway, who's wrapped up in a big tackle by Harry Wheeler, and will ball the footy up just forward of true centre wing, favouring the Raiders. 21-1. It's on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Kotzer, strong tap in towards the Bowie direction. Here's a go for Phillips. Left foot kick. It's a mongrel punt to the top of the goal square. Brashes the target. Lovell made a good contest. Scott gets around one. Handball's trying to find Brasher. Spills out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Deep in attack for the Raiders. We've played 90 seconds on the Macca's time clock. First quarter action for Wodonga Pumps and Mowers.
Really good movement there by the Raiders, be able to get that hit out and on the back side of that, the offensive side of the contest, and get the ball into a nice deep entry for them to start this term.
Boundary throw in. Still a great crowd around the netball courts over there. Howe. Lovell, now this is Willie Wheeler on to Lovell, and then Lovell on the boot, gets it outside defensive 50. Timmy Lawrence just couldn't get a clutch on the Sharon, dropped it. Wiley to Frauenfelder, he's got Fothergill running for him, and away they go now, the Pigeons. He had to get on the boot, pushed as he got his kick. Waters won it for the Raiders to Conway. Now back to Burke. Working it okay now, and then Conway again. So they push it to the outer side. That's good footy from the Raiders to Glass. And then running on is Taylor. Squizzy gets the handball back to Glass, but Wiley was flying through. Good contest over there, right of centre wing on the far side. And then Phillips gets brought down in a strong tackle, Gussie.
He certainly does. Brad Freak, 40 winks.
A couple of early touches in this second quarter for Ned Conway as well. And Mark Wiley's picked up where he left off, had an early touch in this second term as well on the 40-wink stat sheet.
Gus McLeod and Luke Francis calling the action for McRae Motors on O&M Live. Freaky's on the 40 winks and Sky's boundary sign for the Newey. The Pigeons have the footy on the outer side via Cam Wilson. They want to come inboard. It's a nice kick towards Fothergill. He plays on, gives it to Wheeler, inside forward 50. Casey, he marks almost on the second bite of the cherry. I don't know what it is about these Yarrawonga forwards. They can't take a clean mark going inside forward 50. Matt Casey, he'll go back and have a set shot to the Emerald Avenue end. 45 metres out, slight angle.
You just saw then as well, just that quick inboard kick and got Wilson who was able to get it on to Willie Wheeler. Just changed the direction of the play, and obviously Matt Casey in that forward half as well gives them that extra option as Lee Williams had pushed up the ground a little bit.
Casey, is that his magnet thrown around? Into attack. After some time at Balwyn, he's back at the football club. Right foot kick. It's got the legs, but it doesn't quite have the accuracy across the face to the right-hand side for a minor score. So Yarrawonga, they extend the margin to 21 points. 2 goals, 10 to the Raiders, just one behind CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard.
Yeah, that's it. 2-10. Hernan trying to get Jamison Scott, and straight off his chest. Should have marked it. Dropped what he should have taken for sure. Anyway, rightio. Arc of the 50, the Emerald Avenue end. On the near side, boundary umpire, sort of a flat boundary throw in. Howe, Willie Wheeler weaving through traffic onto Forge and then smothered by Alex Daly, who picks it up at ground level and then gets it out to another Raider in Conway. That was great work from Alex Daly. Phillips has to go for it now in front of Howe, and he can't pick it up. Ball beats him, and again, we've gone across the line. Freaky, we'll go to you on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Willie Wheeler's really started this second quarter well. He's up to 4 disposals to start this second term for the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
2-10-22 the Pigeons, so the Raiders just one behind for CMB Truck and Bus. Howe, front spot in the ruck, tapped it down, but the Raiders have numbers. Willie Wheeler chops out now, tries to find Fothergill. He links up nicely with Forge, who goes over the top to Coburn. Coburn's left foot kick on goal is a high up and under. Does it stay inside the field of play? The umpires meet boundary and goal, and the field umpire says, I think it went out of bounds, boys. We'll throw this one back into play deep in the pocket at the Emerald Avenue end, Lukey Francis.
We know what you mean, Gussie. Here we go. Williams. And then Lawrence swings out, left foot snap. No, Timmy missed what he probably should have got, I reckon. He's usually pretty good with those. And couldn't quite put it on the board.
We might need to keep our voices down, boys. We are next to the Yarrawonga coach's box.
As they bring it back, the Raiders through Cooper Daly, Gussie.
Dangerous kick. Squizzy Taylor marks. The Pigeons are 2 goals 11 to the Raiders, just one behind. Daly gets the football out wide. Ball's in the hands now of Phillips. Kicks out wide, trying to find Twycross. Fraunfelder read it better than anyone. Little chip kick over the top's okay. Finds Ryan Ironspawn. Umpire said it wasn't the fair 15. And someone's taking a stack over there, Lukey Francis.
Yeah, Ned Pendergast.
I think it is Big Ned. He might have to get the long studs on. If you just joined the broadcast, we're midway through or early stages of the second term for Wodonga Pumps and Mowers. Yarrawonga are 2-11-23 and the Raiders are one behind for CMV Truck and Bus.
We'll go back down to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket. Sky, actually hold the phone, Sky. Willie Wheeler's gone forward. Hernan going back. Casey got hands with Williams on the boot. Right foot snap, rolling, misses.
Another miss.
Another miss, Sky. So 2-12. Gussie, that's 4 behinds for Williams.
Correct.
Yep, Freaky, 40-week stats.
Yeah, 6 disposals now for Willie Wheeler in this second quarter. He's brought his own footy out to play in this second term. He's been really strong around those around the ball ups and really getting his contested work going.
Sky Burgess, boundary sign for the Newey. There is no any effects from the breeze or any conditions that are affecting Yarrawonga's scoring?
No, I can confirm I did a grass throw before and there is little to no breeze. So I feel like they might just have a bit of a laxy-daisy attitude coming into a Raiders game. It's just what it seems like. There's not a whole lot of conviction. So, maybe that they're thinking that it's going to be an easy game. They've just got that mentality.
They're certainly dominating Sky, but struggling to have an impact on the scoreboard.
The conversion is not there, unfortunately.
7.5 minutes gone for Maccas. Howe on the tap down to find Harry Wheeler. Up towards half forward, it's Ned Pendergast, marked strongly on the chest. Comes inboard towards Logan Morey on the edge of the centre square. High left foot up and under in the Williams direction. Sitting in the hole nicely was Waters. Chasing this one is Willie Wheeler. Wants to find his right side. And he's taken across the boundary line by Lewis Waters. Well done, the Raiders. Brad Freak for 40 winks.
Yeah, just that play there. Right then he had Logan Morey, had Willie Wheeler in 20 metres of space at the top of the 50. But again, just Lee Williams centric. Went to go in, and Daly, the defender, did really good work to cut it off and force this boundary throw in where they probably would have had an easy shot with Willie Wheeler just running into a lot of space.
That's the voice, Brad Freak on the 40-wing stats. Cam Wilson runs onto it and just puts it on the boot. It turned into a drop punt. Didn't start off like that initially. And again, another behind. So 2:13.25. Gussie.
Cam's kicked 3 of them.
Yeah. And just keep racking up. And now Charlie St. John from the Raiders fullback position. He's got a long kick out of defence.
O'Dwyer and the best of Brasher, but Brasher regathers the football. True centre wing, out of sight of the Emerald Oval. Coming through nicely is St John, or Twycross I should say. Kicks over the top. It's a nice looking kick, finds its way to Whitsett, who's too far to score, so he arcs and kicks inboard nicely towards Burke. 55 from home and no one's inside forward 50. Umpire calls him to play on, so he's got a kick to the hot spot. High up and under. Howe tracked it back nicely. Did he get a free kick? I think he did. It's going to be a free kick, going to go the way of Lockie Howe. For a push in the back, it's against the big ruckman and Hickey. And Howe will be the recipient, and he links up nicely with Mark Wiley at true fullback.
Two good footy players there, Gussie. Howe on to Wiley. Now Mark, he wants to come back broadcast side. Perfect kick for Fraunfelder. Now they play on to Fothergill. This is Pigeons footy. And Nick in the one Guernsey wants to angle inboard to Cam Wilson. Now they've got men free all over the place out wide. Bruce is there with Wheeler. Bruce takes it. He's got Wheeler on if he wants to handball it. He doesn't. Morey's on now. So he goes to Logan. He's on the half forward flank. Pigeons, opposite side of the ground. They're kicking towards the Emerald Avenue end. Very low ball. Coburn get to it. Umpire didn't pay it. Morey has a second. Try to swipe it off the ground. And then Bowie's got it. He's wrapped up. And the umpire is going to take it. Freaky inside 50s for the second term on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, 6-2 in favour of the Yarrawonga.
And yet to capitalise with a major. Logan Morey on hands and knees, 50 metres out, directly in front of Yarrawonga's goal. And Freaky take us around the grounds for our good friends at McRae Motors.
Yeah, and the other games in the Ovens and Murray, 3-point lead to the Rovers, 24-21, and a 9-point lead to the Magpies, 29-20.
Willie Wheeler gets it towards Howe, who kicks inside forward 50. And it looks like Fothergill's marked 45 metres out on a slight angle with 9 goals to his name in season 2023. You'd back him in from here, but it's been a weird old day in front of the sticks for the Pigeons.
Yeah, he's had a good game, Nick Fothergill. He's had up to the 7 disposals as well. Hopefully looking to put this one through the big sticks. But they've got, I don't know what they've done through the mid of this week, Gussie, in front of goals. Just haven't been able to convert as they like at the moment. They're having all the play. I think that's one thing that you can be happy about if you are coaching staff of Yarrawonga. You're having all the play, having lots of shots, just aren't able to take your chances at the moment.
Nick Fothergill, it's a measured approach. You'll kick 35 metres on a slight angle. Nick's kick on goal. You won't believe it. It's another minor score. Yarrawonga, 2 goals, 14-26 to the Raiders. Just one behind. Bad kicking is bad footy, Luke Francis. Yarrawonga, they've got so much more in the tank than what we're seeing in the second quarter for Wodonga Pumps and Mowers.
Yeah, Gussie, I put the lid back on my pen. Couldn't mark it down as a goal. Fraunfelder turned over to him. So the man on the mark at about 46, I'd say. Bailey, we know how much he loves a goal, Freaky.
Yeah, we will know if this one's definitely going to be a goal or a behind pretty early, I think, Licky.
We will. Let's have a look at the body language from Bailey Fraunfelder. bright orange boots. In he comes, circles around, gets it on that left boot. No.
Oh, no
Garcia,
way.
2:15. 2:15, young man.
We're going to have to get the Benny Hill music out in a minute.
Yeah, 27, plays 1 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Second turn brought to you by Wodonga Pumps and Mowers. Let's go back down to Sky for the new market. Much action down there, Sky?
Yeah, we've just had young Indy Kotzer come off for a breather, so he's been doing really well out there. Yarra have also got Wiley and Ned Pendergast off for a breather.
Sky Burgess for the Newmarket Hotel. Masters flies high, an ultimate fasteners mark of the day. As he switches, opens the game up. Lawrence, in fact, I should say 9 his handball was poor. Fothergill gets inside forward 50. Was Casey held? Umpire said no. Hernan's on top of the football, wrapped up in a big tackle. And that's a ball of footy up deep inside attack. I tell you what, it was a really good piece of play there that started from Lee Masters in attack. They're unable to capitalise, Lukey.
That's it, Gussie. So arc of the 50, Emerald Street, Emerald Avenue and Taylor onto Conway, and then pretty ordinary hand pass to Alex Daly. Picks it up though. Now he's calling for someone to come at him. Back to Conway, gives it to Taylor. Now he should come to centre wing. Nice hand pass over the top to Smith, who fumbled. Inboard to Conway. Now they're in trouble. Squizzy's got to go and put it on the boot. Howe turns over. And the Pigeons again around here, and they switch it with a lateral kick to Bruce. And well, gets it to O'Dwyer, Gus.
He does in the nick of time. Well done. Great pressure from the Raiders. Jamo Scott was superb. The boy who's come across from the Albury Tigers. Urquhart switches out to the outer side towards Bailey Fraunfelder. Finds the trusty left. His kick was poor. He made Forge work for that. The umpire pays no advantage. You said bring the football back, and young Jack can have a free kick on the edge of the square. If you just joined the broadcast, Yarrawonga are 2:15:27 to the Raiders, 1 behind in perfect conditions for football. Logan Morey left it behind. Charlie St John come through. Now it's Bowie. Shimmies and shakes and handballs out wide, and he finds Brad St John, the shredder. Kicks up the line, trying to find Brasher. Masters too strong. Brad gang tackled, got it towards Brasher now. Inboard, Brad St John once again racking up the 40 wings disposals. His handball got away in the nick of time, trying to find a teammate in Smith. And Smith's wrapped up in a big tackle. Will ball the footy up, true centre wing out of side.
I feel like Yarrawonga in the last 5 minutes are really starting to turn up the pressure a little bit in this game. But again, as we keep touching on, I haven't been able to convert on the scoreboard, but their pressure around the footy has really risen.
Yeah, and as Gus McLeod said, just perfect conditions for footy. No breeze, good track.
Dry footy.
That's it. No excuse. Bruce for the Pigeons on to Wiley. Good hand pass. Here they come again. Very short ball to Coburn. So he's about 80 out from home. Puts it on that left boot. Timmy Lawrence at the front. And Casey, it carries to him, the big man, and takes a mark about 25 out as we go back to Freaky.
Yeah, really nice play on that outside wing there from the Yarrawonga Pigeons, just lowering their eyes a little bit and then just getting that long ball from Coburn into Casey and be able to take a nice pack mark. It's a really good build up there. Draws some of those Raiders spares up the ground a little bit to come and attack when the ball's up there from Wilson and Coburn and the like, and deliver it into Casey.
If you just tuned in to O&M Live, the Pigeons have 2:15 on the board. This for their third goal. No mistake this time. Make it 3:15.
Finally, Lukey.
Finally, Gussie. 33 are the Hoops. The Pigeons lead the Raiders 1 point on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Second term brought to you by Wodonga Pumps and Mowers as we go back down to Sky Burgess for the Newie.
It's nice to see him get some reward for all their hard work they're doing around the ball, isn't it? I was going to say he was surely going to get that in, but I didn't want to commentate a curse after the day they're having.
I was going to say, Sky, you can take a leaf out of Robbie's book. He's well known for nailing a few blokes inside forward 50 freaky.
Yeah, he certainly would. I don't think it would really, as the game's gone out so far, Sky, I don't think it would have mattered too much the way I have been kicking in front of goal.
Well, I'm a Raiders girl, so, you know, if it was commentator's curse, would it be the worst thing for my team, you know?
Potentially not, Sky. If you just joined the broadcast, 3:15:33 Yarrawonga to the Raiders, just 1 behind for CMV Truck and Bus. Brad Freaks on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Ned Conway across the half-back line from the Raiders has been really good this quarter. He's up to 8 disposals, and Connor Taylor again is up to 5 as well for the Wodonga Raiders in this second term.
Pendergast won the tap, and Cam Wilson's the recipient for the Pigeons. Kicks out wide towards Tanner 9 home, but he left it behind for Fothergill to run onto. Comes back towards Masters, who lost his footing. Hernan got a little dribble kick up and towards a bit of space. Falls the way of him. Now he gets the ball towards Burke. Burke's got some space to run. Brad Freak talk us through this one for 40 winks. The free kick's going to go the way of Nick Fothergill.
Yeah, it's a Nick Fothergill. I think Raiders are very hard done by then. It was right in front of our commentary position. I know Sky might have felt the same way. It looked like it was right in the side to me, Sky. I don't know if you got the same view, but definitely wasn't in the back that I saw.
Yeah, no, he got hip and shouldered off the ball and kind of like fell into Liam. So Liam actually didn't really have anything to do with the contest. I think they were very stiff there.
Yeah, it was Hickey. I agree with you both. Ball down the line. Conway on the second attempt. Nice mark. Real go of this bloke. On the VFL list, Gussie.
With North Melbourne.
Yeah, handy footballer. The Raiders, deep back pocket, and move it across the fullback position. Alex Daly is with the ball. Emerald Avenue end. Then a low kick. This will have to come off. It doesn't to Cooper Daly. Ironspawn left foot going forward to Williams. Plays on goal. So that was poor footy from the Raiders. A little scratchy. 33 or 39 plays one, I should say. And that is a double for Lee Williams. Freaky. They finish off their work, the Pigeons.
Yeah, they did. It was probably one of the first times today their defence across the ground was set up really well and had the Raiders really hemmed in tight in that really deep defensive area for the Raiders, but their forward half. And good spoil and contest by Tanner Nyholm there, and just the outside, which caused that little bit of fumble, and the boys down there for Yarrawonga are able to get the hands out and flick it over to Lee Williams. Dikiki's second goal for the day today. So good reward there that the Pigeons need. Obviously, they've had plenty of opportunities, just haven't been able to capitalise so far, Gussie.
And they certainly haven't. 4:15:39 to 1 behind. The Raiders trail the Pigeons. We'll go around the ground to McRae Motors. It's a 3-point or 4-point lead, I should say, to the Rovers over the Tricolours. And the Magpies lead by 9 points over North Albury. Second quarter action on O&M Live for Wodonga Pumps and Mowers. They service what they sell. Freeway end of High Street, Wodonga. Here's Wiley. He's racking up the 40 winks disposals. Put him down for another one. Freaky gets out towards Pendergast. Got to get the handball away. Handball's in towards space. That was well met there by Phillips. Coming through is St John, the shredder, who's racking up the 40 winks as well. The Raiders have the football broadcast side via Charlie St John. Takes a bounce, wants to kick inside forward 50. Waits for the option. It's not a bad option, but Masters jumps in the way for the Pigeons. Nick Brasher applies a strong lead, and his gather-up work was pretty impressive as well. And O'Dwyer throws it on the boot to gain some defensive yards, but it's out of bounds on the full, and here come the Raiders.
Jamison Scott turns it over to Cam Wilson. And he's got hoops running for them. Look at them. So Ironspawn has got about 3 teammates on in the middle. He goes to Morey. Oh, big fist from Waters away. So that was nice defensive work from the Raiders. And now Nick Brasher fires it in for the red and blue. Good ball to Burke. That's the best footy from the Raiders we've seen all day.
Best footy they played all day, and what I really liked about that passage of play, Freak, and you probably share the same belief. It was the first time a lead's been on an inside forward 50 from the Raiders.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good delivery there by the Raiders, and from that turnover in the middle of the ground there from Yarrawonga as well. So really good counter-attacking footy. Hopefully they can put it on the scoreboard here.
Jason Burke shooting for the Raiders. First goal. Cricket up end.
He likes it.
Yeah, you can hear the home crowd here. They like it all right. 39-7. On the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard, the Pigeons up, and we've gone about, what are we going, Gussie? Our clock's
20.
reset.
No, it's gone 20.
Has it? Beauty. On the Macca's time clock, and we'll go down to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket.
Yeah, a few rotations really starting to go through here. You got Howe going back on and Harry Wheeler for Yarrawonga going straight into that contest.
Just turned that turnover there as well with Ryan Bruce. He had Nick Fothergill in the middle of the ground again with space, but chose the longer option, just missing some of those easier targets as they're moving forward, the Pigeons.
4:15:39, the Yarrawonga Pigeons to the Wodonga Raiders 1-1-7. Burke's on the board for the home team. Wiley, he's been electric, gets a little toe poke on that one up towards Wheeler in a 1-2. Did he get taken high? Umpire Mason Ring said no. I reckon Harry got taken high, and umpire Mason Ring says no again. We'll ball the footy up in the centre of the Burralee Park in Wodonga. 7 plays 39, CMV Truck and Bus. The Pigeons lead on O&M Live.
Here we go, just left of the centre. of Burley Park. Willie Wheeler tried to get it to Wiley. McKenzie. Morey for the Pigeons. Left foot. Long ball going forward. Couple of the Raiders fly. Ball out the back now. Fothergill try to knock it on. Goes again, does Nick. And that's gone through for 1 minus score. So 40 plays 7 now. And the CMB Truck and Bus scored. Yarrawonga up. We've gone 22 on the Macca's time clock. Freaky. Who's our standout for the second term on the 40-wing stat sheet?
Yeah, Ned Conway is up to 9 disposals for the Raiders in this second quarter, and Willie Wheeler's up to 8 for Yarrawonga on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Cooper Daly marks across left half back for the Raiders. You can hear Mark Armand, the coach of the Raiders, asking his side to move the football, start running and gunning. Comes inboard, finds Hernan. Between half back in the centre at the Burley Park. Dangerous kick trying to thread the needle. And Burke's marked. I really liked his game today. Freaky is a lead up forward.
Yeah, he's presented well for him, and he's got really nice hands. A couple of times he's taken really good contested marks and given the Raiders an out option.
Here's a go for Conway. O'Dwyer's hot on his heels. Good block applied. Diving on top of this one was Sam McKenzie. And the umpire, Mason Ring, he's found a free kick. It's going to go the way of the Raiders. I think it is going to be Sam McKenzie, the recipient. Wants to come inboard. He finds Phillips, 60 from home on a 45-degree angle. Wants one of his forwards to lead. Brash is the deepest. He's going into the pocket, but it's a 4-on-1. And Lockie Howe will pluck that one out all day, but he was smothered. And Jamison Scott dribbled one towards goal. Into the near side for a minus score. The Raiders, 2-2-8. Yarrawonga, 4-16-40 for CMV Trucks and Bus.
Just not a lot of talk in that defensive half there, down there by the Pigeons at the moment. They had Ryan Bruce who went up and spoiled Lockie Howe. It was a 4-on-1, as you rightfully called beautifully, Gus. Just weren't able to take the easy option and just nullify that, and that easy contest it should have been, rather than the Raiders having a shot at goal.
Willie Wheeler. And a low ball, cheap Wiley under a ton of pressure. Phillips goes in, Wiley again. Ball wrapped up, he's not coming out of there. Holding the ball. Who's on the bottom of that pack? Mark Wiley.
Well, it's going to be a free. It's going to go the way of the Raiders, nonetheless.
Yeah.
And I reckon the free.
Cooper Daly's got it.
It's Cooper, is it?
So he's in the white boots, Gussie. He's about 70 out. What's Cooper going to do? Here he goes. He's going to give it. The big pop-up ball to the hot spot, top of the goal square. Burke goes up. Fraunfelder tried to grab it. Dwyer, now Masters. And then spat out by Fraunfelder. Conway, right foot. Touched.
Oh.
Jack Ford's just got a hand to it. Just got a hand to it, Gussie.
He went through the big sticks from the most tight of angles, and Sky, that would have really lit the home fans alight for the Newey.
I know that. I was not expecting that to go anywhere near the middle stick, so he's done well to even get it there.
Good kick.
Morey gets the Pigeons rolling via Forge up towards half forward. The kick had too much for Timmy Lawrence. Lewis Waters chops out. Kicks down the line, he finds Indy Kotzer, the boy on debut from Rutherglen, who's showing some good signs. Indy, high up and under to another couple on one. Brasher flew high, Masters brought it to ground. Jamison Scott tied up on the boundary, handballs back inboard. Bowie, now Brasher once again on the non-preferred to the top of the square, and Scott. Jamison Scott's marked on a 45-degree angle, 15 metres in front to the cricket hub end, and the Raiders can kick themselves back in this game here.
Yeah, it was really good play there from the Raiders. Just kept the ball alive, kept it in motion, kept the Yarrawonga defenders moving, and just a real quick kick forward. And Jamison Scott in the right place at the right time, take a nice mark and hopefully get 2 in a row.
And I reckon he's almost missed the footy. Out of bounds on the full by about 10 metres. Unfortunately for young Jamison, the score doesn't change. 40-9, favouring the Pigeons. CMV Truck and Bus.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Got to say, I was laughing at your comment. You almost missed the footy. I wasn't laughing at the kick. Gussie, I enjoyed that. And then out towards Brasher, out of defence. Forge, Fothergill. And then Cooper Daly got it on the boot quickly. Glass trying to weave through. Got a handball out to St. John. Brad. Oh, Harry Wheeler ran him down. Howe now gets down low, the big man. Knocks it out of the pack. Raiders. Brad St. John. On to Taylor. And a very ordinary kick out to Nick Brasher. But he's got time. So Nick sends it in with the left foot. Who's down there over the back? Ryan Bruce for the Pigeons. And they're going to switch play. Gussie, they come to Lovell.
Lovell, true fullback. Cricket hub end of the Birrelea Park in Wodonga. 26 minutes gone in the second term on the Macca's time clock. The Morris Medalist Masters marks across left half back. Clubroom side. Umpire calls him to play on, so he kicks in board and opens up the corridor. He finds Wheeler. This is Harry. Low chiselling kick towards Bailey Fraunfelder on the centre of the ground. His kick up towards half forward was okay. Falls the way of Fothergill. Little dinky one over the top, and Casey, he marks on the second bite of the cherry. 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle as the siren sounds for half-time.
That was certainly Yarrawonga's best passage of play they've had for the day. They lowered their eyes, found their targets, moved the ball well through the middle of the ground, transitioned it from one side of the ground to the other, found the open man in Nick Fothergill, who was around about the square, half forward, 60 metres out, and be able to hit Casey running into an open forward 50. It's some passages of play that we haven't seen from Yarrawonga in this first half. They've been very rare when they have been able to do it. And when they do it, they find easier opportunities for themselves.
So Matt Casey, after the half-time siren has sounded, 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle to the Emerald Avenue ends. Casey's approach is staggered, it's measured, and he misses to the left-hand side for a minor score. 41 plays 9 at the main break. It's a 32-point lead to the Yarrawonga Pigeons. 4-17-41. Yes, you heard correctly. 4-17-41 to the Raiders. 139. CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. We'll take a break at the Birrelea Park and continue our coverage of O&M Live footy between the Raiders and Yarrawonga on the other side of the break. It's O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
2AY.
Welcome back to the Burleigh Park in Wodonga, half-time. 4-17 the Yarrawonga Pigeons, yes. 4-17-41 to 139 in conditions that are absolutely perfect for football. They should be a hell of a lot more in front than what they are. But it gives the Raiders a sniff heading into the second half. Earlier today, the Yarrawonga Pigeons fought back in a tight game of netball against the home side in the Wodonga Raiders. And, of course, our two O&M Live netball callers from this afternoon, Tamara Matthews and Sky Hillier, summed up the game for our good friends at Ray White Rural.
Netball wrap-up. We're here at the Wodonga Raiders, where the Yarrawonga Pigeons have easily accounted for the Wodonga Raiders after Raiders jumped out of the blocks, Sky, and got up to a smashing start.
Absolutely. I think that would actually probably be more of a concern for Yarrawonga's their flat start. I think Jodie and the girls would be absolutely stoked with their first half. The energy, everything was on point. You couldn't fault them.
Yeah, Yarrawonga, though, showing their experience and running away. Comfortable winners in the end. Best players, though, I think, look, Sarah Moore for Yarrawonga was outstanding. She showed her experience, and Hannah Symes, of course, solid best in defence, wasn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. Both those ladies changed the game, I guess you could say. Han started to come off the body of Tay and confused quite a bit of space, picked up a lot of ball outside the ring, and then says flicking into GA from GS was probably the game changer there, set up a lot of ball outside.
Yeah, and for Raiders?
Yeah, for Raiders, I actually think Maggie St John through the centre was awesome, and Emily Stewart hand in hand together, and I think Maggie adjusted really well to when they changed Tay and Mia in, and I think for a mid-quarter, this running centre, it's hard yakka as it is, but for her to be able to think and continue to get that ball side, I think, yeah, she was really good today.
Yeah, and Emily Stewart was outstanding in goal attack as well, really set up a lot of their play and was a real workhorse for them all games. So credit to those girls, and credit to Wodonga Raiders for taking it up to Yarrawonga like they did. In other results, the Wangaratta Magpies were too strong for North Albury, and Myrtleford were too strong for the Wangaratta Rovers. So results probably going as predicted there, whilst we know that Lavington accounted for Wodonga Bulldogs in the season opener a few weeks ago. This is the O&M wrap-up for 2AY O&M Live for Ray White Rural. You've been listening to O&M Live.
Tamara Matthews and Sky Hillier doing some fantastic work over at the netball courts. And good to see the Raiders have got some young netballers making their way through the ranks that are really going to push to help elevate the profile of this club as they look to rebuild with a young and exciting list. Back towards the football side of things, you've got Gus McLeod with you alongside Luke Francis, Brad Freak and Sky Burgess. Thanks to our good friends sponsoring halftime, of course, Elders Rural and Elders Insurance. 4 goals 17, I should say. Have you guys ever seen a quarter of or a half of football with such inaccurate goal kicking?
Yeah, it's been an odd game up until this point, hasn't it, Gussie? So, and as you mentioned a couple of times in the first half, the breeze has picked up a little now, but we certainly didn't have any, did we, Sky, down on ground level in the...
No, on the odd, very minimal, but hardly anything. It has started to pick up a little bit now. Maybe the goals might start going in now with a bit of assistance.
Yep.
I do remember a couple of years ago, Gussie, I wasn't doing the game, but Wang Magpies played Myrtleford on a Saturday night game down in Wangara at the Norm Mins, and they were 1-15 or something at half-time, which is the only time I can think of anything very similar to this happening. But I think Sky nearly hit the nail on the head during that second quarter and just said, I think Yarrawonga at times have just been a little bit lackadaisical and just been a little bit relaxed and just sort of going through the motions a little bit. It probably wasn't until sort of that back half of that quarter, Sky, do you reckon, that they picked up their intensity around the ball and really started to have a bit, well, they're obviously having a crack, but just having a bit more contested presence around the footy.
Yeah, because they're doing well, like around the ball, bringing it down. It's all great. It's just when they're having shots on goal, they just seem to be laying it on the boot or just going through the motions, and you kind of pick up that vibe. Like when I listen to the huddle, the way they're talking, it was just a very chillaxed environment. So, you know, maybe after now that it's half time and it's still that bad, you know, you can't be happy with that kind of conversion rate playing Ovens and Murray Senior football. So hopefully they put a little rocket up the backside and switch on a little bit more, putting those goals in.
Well, I guess the one thing that Stevie J and the coaching staff can be happy about, as Sky touched on, that you have 21 shots at goal in a half of football. You're going to be pretty happy. Lukey and I are saying off air, would you have been shocked if you came here today if Yarrawonga had 21 shots and a half at goal?
No, not at all. But if you had told me they'd kick 17 behinds, I would have eaten my hat.
Yeah, so, I mean, it all the matter of, as Sky touched on then again rightly, it's just a matter of taking their opportunities when they present themselves.
And I think as well, Sky, you mentioned it for the Newmarket Hotel, boundary side on a couple of occasions. I think regardless, and I mean this with all due respect to the Raiders, sometimes when you're a top-end side and you come up against a young side that are towards the bottom, and then you can become quite complacent and there's little things. I noticed at one stage during the first quarter, Yarrawonga didn't have anyone on the mark for a defensive kick-in from full-back, and it allowed Charlie St John to run 25-30 metres and exit defensive 50. Those little things, you can bet your bottom dollar. If Yarrawonga are taking on the Albury Tigers or the Rovers or the Magpies or someone amongst that top end, they're not going to let those little tiny things happen, are they?
Well, that's the difference in some of those games when they come up. But it's, you know, you got to make sure you're practicing the same routines, everything week in, week out, because you don't want those bad habits to become your habits. So you need to be able to create those good habits throughout the season, regardless of who you're playing, to be able to which sets you in good stead when it comes to the back half of the year.
40-wing stat sheet, Freaky. What are the latest takings? Of course, you're doing a bit more on the Yarrawonga side of things, and probably rightfully so the way they're playing.
Yeah, they've got their prime ball winners are winning plenty of the footy. As we keep touching on, Mark Wiley's had the 17 disposals in the first half, 14 disposals each for Willie Wheeler, Felder, 10 to Nick Fothergill as well, and so is Harry Wheeler as well. But on the Raiders side of things, the three boys we're following, Brad St John, Connor Taylor, both had 13, and Ned Conway, who I thought was the Optus quarter's best in that second term for the Raiders, was outstanding. He had 10 disposals across that half back line. He's really, I know you like him, Luke. He looks like he's going to be a serious talent, the kid, and he looks like he moves well. Raiders had a bit more ball inside forward 50. If you have a look at the team stats on the 40-wing stat sheet, 9 inside 50s in that second term to 12 in favour of Yarrawonga. But again, as I touched on, still not lowering probably their eyes enough going forward. Yeah. Still only 4 marks inside forward 50 out of their 12 entries. They've had 29 in total for 7 marks inside forward 50. So it just shows that sometimes there's a bit of pressure, Lukey, on their kicks coming in, and they're just a little bit rushed, or they're just a little bit Lee Williams-centric, which they can be at times, Gussie.
I don't have an issue with them being Lee Williams-centric, but Lee Williams has got to be one out. You can bomb it on his head all day long, as long as they don't have 3 or 4 defenders flying up against him, which with having those players like your Caseys and your Pendergast and so forth that are pushing a lot deeper to goal than what they normally do, that allows their players to zone off and then go and double and triple team Leroy. When he's one out, there's no one in the competition that's beating him.
Yep, no, that is a fair call. It's a great call. And, lower entries last week, Freaky, as you said. But as Gussie said, it's okay going with that long ball when he's one out and got some room to move and really strong-arm his opponent. But when he's up against so many, well, it just makes it so tough. You mentioned Conway. Yeah, he's a beauty, isn't he?
Yeah,
I saw him. That's the first time I saw him play on Anzac Day, and I just thought he tried his heart out and won so many possessions for the Raiders and used the ball well. And he's been a shining light for them this afternoon here at Birrelly Park.
Yeah, he has been across that half-back line. I just want to touch on that last passage of play from Yarrawonga is probably what the coaching staff want to see, a bit more in that second half. Really good lowering your eyes, as you touched on there, Luke. He moved it from one court side of the ground to the other, used the width of the wings and be able to get a nice, easy shot in goal, which Casey unfortunately missed, which is a bit of their theme. But that was the style that I think they want to have in this second half.
For Elders on Shoeback Street in Albury, the halftime show is done and dusted on the other side of the break. The third term on O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
2AY.
Oh, what about the new sponsors on O&M Live? The team at Indigo Power, your local energy provider. Of course, make the switch to Indigo Power, based in Beechworth. They're a local company, and they reckon, and I reckon you should too as well. I've made the switch. Give the big boys the flick and support a local run business. It's for the locals, by the locals. It's 100% locally owned and operated. Indigo Power. You can Google Indigo Power racehorse.com.au to find some more information.
What a great name for a racehorse that'd be.
Indigo
Gussie?
Power.
Yeah, Indigo Power.
I reckon they might have. They might have. I'm just thinking out loud. They might have copyrighted it.
Just a bit of a segue from racehorses there. My Greyhound's running on Tuesday night. There you go.
Whereabouts, Freaky? South Australia?
Yeah, Gawler. Cash on delivery.
You're making the trip over?
Oh, I will for this one. I haven't yet, but I thought, why not? First race back at Gawler on Tuesday night. Wednesday. Wednesday at 10 to 3 in the afternoon.
And what Freaky did say off air, the more you bet, the more you win. No, I'm just kidding. Make sure you gamble responsibly. Of course, if you are having a punt, not too far away. Of course, Lukey from one of the big races of the day up at Eagle Farm. The Channel 7 Victory Stakes. Private Eye is the $2.30 favourite in that race there. And, of course, good to see the St Ledger being run today. Lukey, of course, we didn't get a chance to run it during the week with the tragic passing of Dean Holland, the Victorian jock. So great to see them running it on the Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Gussie, it's so sad the Dean Holland news lost his life at the age of 34 following a tragic fall at Donald on Monday. Young family, 4 kids, no words to describe that situation. But that's right. So the St Ledger on today, a time-honoured event won by the mighty Farlap Gussie. He took it out as a 3-year-old, the VRC St Ledger, and then Private Eye, the Sydney Galloper, the fave, up in Queensland for one of the biggies.
And you were there for Farlap, were you, Lukey?
Come on now, Freaky. That's a bit rough. What year here goes a trivia question. What year did he win the Cup? Sig Red.
Oh, no, I couldn't tell you.
1930.
Around the grounds for our good friends at McRae Motors. North Albury have hit the lead against Wangaratta, 6-4 to 5-9. We'll keep you updated with around the ground scores, and of course it's a 10-point ball game at the major break. The Rovers lead the Alpine Saints. Back here at the Birralee Park in Wodonga, 41 plays 9, favouring the Yarrawonga Pigeons on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. The third quarter is about to get underway. Umpire holds the Sharon aloft. You're with Luke Francis from McRae Motors right here on O&M Live.
Howe and Kotzer this time. Kotzer with a big fist away for the Raiders. And then Brad St John dished it back to Kotzer. Phillips under a ton of pressure. Now Brad St John goes again. A hurried kick. Gets it inside 50 for the Raiders. Bouncing ball. Glass at ground level. Dragged it in. Bruce has got him. Gone. So Glass, as I said, dragged it in. Bruce over him. And the Pigeons win it in defensive 50.
Ryan Bruce, an unassuming star of this Yarrawonga outfit, finds Jack Forge across half-back, clubroom side, right in front of Travis Cartwright, the best cameraman in the business, filming today's game for the O&M live stream. Great to have you with us, Travie. As Lockie Howe takes his football out of bounds for a boundary throw. In 55 seconds gone, Macca's time clock will bring the football back into play. Just favouring true centre wing of the Wodonga Raiders. And that's going to be young Indy Kotzer up against Lockie Howe on the ruck.
It will be Gussie. Let's have a look. Hands down in front. Ball at ground level. Who can get to this one first? Kotzer knocked it off the ground. Glass again. Bruce again on his tail. Bowie at the bottom. Tried to knock it out. This is Smith for the Raiders. On to Phillips. And then a high top spinning one, in fact, forward. Mark taken by Lava. Wanted to play on. Yeah, gone cold. Umpire said, well, you can hear the coach's box next to it.
I agree.
Absolutely. Agree. Sky, you've got to be with us.
Yep, I think everyone agreed on that one.
So the Raiders deprived of a certain shot on goal. We all thought that was holding the footy. Nonetheless, umpire restarts. Kotzer palms it down, and the Pigeons exit defensive 50 via Bruce. Coburn got a nick on that one up towards the shredder, Brad St John. He left it behind for Harry Wheeler to come through and link up once again. As the kick goes down the line from Urquhart up towards half forward. Daly got amongst the action. Squizzy Taylor handballed one back, and he found Daly. This is Cooper. Kicks out wide. The kick and sitting nicely for Glass. He ignores, goes towards Scott. And the ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw in 55 metres out from the Raiders' goal.
3 inside 50s on the 40-wing stat sheet to start this third quarter for the Wodonga Raiders. Really been able to hold the ball in their forward half.
Freaky on the 40-wing stats sheet for us here at Birralee Park this afternoon. Sky Burgess boundary side for the Newmarket. And myself and Gussie for McRae Motors. Sky, we'll go back down to you for the Newey.
Yeah, I was just keeping an eye on Braden Coburn. He's been holding his shoulder since the contest. The trainer's just gone out to him. He's shrugged him off, so he looks to be okay.
Thanks, Sky. Twycross on the boot. Burke through his mitts. Whitshead, goal. Off the ground of the Raiders, so they get their second. So 41 plays 15 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Third term brought to you by Indigo Power. We're going about 3 minutes in the third term as we go to Freaky.
Yeah, really good play there by the Raiders to get it forward. Jason Burke just not been able to take the mark, go through his hands, but then young Whitshead there, really clever kick off the ground to slide home Raiders' second goal. They've really come out firing this third quarter to start it up. Probably should have had another shot on goal through a free kick that wasn't there, but really good play there to keep at it, not drop their head as a young team and finally hit the scoreboard.
The footy gods looked after the Raiders there. 26-point ball game. Favouring the Pigeons. Wiley tracking this one against St John. Squizzy Taylor. In fact, I should say Charlie St John. Lockie Howe tracking it now for the Pigeons. Wrapped up in a tackle. He didn't have a prior opportunity. He's a go for Conway. Gets it out to the outer side to Brad St John. Kicks inboard. It's a dangerous kick, but it works out favourably for the blue and the blue and the red. Up towards half forward. Masters chops out nicely now for the Pigeons. Bringing it to ground level. Forge is amongst the action. So is Whitstead. Coming through is Scott, but the umpire found a free kick. It's coming back to Zach Whitstead for a holding the ball. And he's probably going to be just too far to score. 55 on a 45-degree angle.
At the moment, it looks a little bit like Yarrawonga are the team that's coming off the 4-day break, and Raiders aren't the one that's had a bit more of a break. Their energy in this third quarter is right up. Been able to have really good authority. Had 4 inside 50s already in this third quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet too. Looking to keep this dominance going by kicking another goal.
Whitstead, he's come through the Raiders program as a junior. He's just going to sit this one up. In fact, he's going to have a shot and kick a sundown goal of the day. Back-to-back goals for the Wodonga Raiders and back-to-back goals for the first time in this game. It's a fantastic start to the third term. 21 plays 41. It's a 20-point ball game on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard.
The pressure inside forward 50 to start this third term has been outstanding by the Raiders. A lot of pressure, a lot of tackling. Young Whitstead kicking his second goal in a matter of minutes there as well. Beautiful goal from just about 45 metres out. Really, really getting some good reward now, the Raiders. They've been playing well since halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, the home crowd lifting. Howe grabs it out of the ruck and then sends it for Pendergast. Comes steaming out and takes the ball. And he sends it in, a low driving kick towards Casey on a one-on-one with Alex Daly. Daly won it. Now he's wrapped up by Casey. And the umpire will call for a Gussie.
Alex Daly's been superb in defence today, boys. I've really enjoyed his game. Playing on Matt Casey, who's probably got a foot on him. Williams in the ruck, took it out of the ruck and snapped on goal. But it's across the face for a minor score. Williams takes his total to 2 goals 5, and the Raiders, or the Pigeons I should say, 4 goals 18. It's a 21-point lead, favouring the visitors as the kick comes out wide to Indy Kotzer. Dropped the mark he should have taken, but he's regathered the football and had a good crack at this one. Gets the Raiders up towards true centre wing. Applies a good tackle on Howe. Bruce got it out the back, and the Pigeons have numbers. They go down the line via Forge. Trying to find Casey and Fothergill. Steals out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. True centre wing broadcast side. 42 plays 21. Inspirations Paint scoreboard.
Really liking the quarter by young Indy Kotzer. Really good 3 or 4 efforts there to keep the ball moving forward and then put the big tackle on Lockie Howe as well. He's really impressed to start this third quarter.
Sky Burgess, we got a good view of this one for the Newmarket.
I know, front and centre. Boys, the rotations are just starting to come through for Yarrawonga as well.
Bowie, Conway, been terrific. And Phillips, a Marul silo kick up in the air. Nick Brasher sits under it. And then McKenzie, he gets it on the left boot. Lovell, try to get little Whitstead. And the ball has gone out of bounds, just left of centre wing. Gussie, on a Saturday afternoon at Burley Park. The Yarrawonga Pigeons up 42-21 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. We've got about 7 minutes in the third term.
For Matt is on O&M Live, boundary throw-in right in front of our commentary position. Howe won the tap down. Falls the way of Mark Wiley for the visitors. Right foot kick long down the line, 3-on-1. Williams in a fair contest got Squizzy Taylor. Squizzy Taylor showing some courage. The contender for the Ultimate Fasteners, tough nut of the day. He just backed back into that pack, Freaky.
Yeah, he certainly did. A lot more kilos coming towards him than he's got on himself, young Squizzy there too. So really good effort from him. I'm impressed every time I see him play, young Connor Taylor. Obviously not a lot of him, but he always doesn't shirk an issue.
His dad's a superstar, or was a superstar of the competition with Benella, back when they were a part of our competition. Ball's out wide to Waters. The Raiders go down the outer side. It's a nice looking kick and it finds McKenzie just forward of true centre. Ball's in hands for the Wodonga Raiders up towards half forward. Brasher made a contest. He got legged. Umpire said nothing in it. Ball falls the way of Masters for Yarrawonga. He lowers the eyes and darts one to Lovell.
The Pigeons on the half-back flank. Emerald Avenue end, far side. Lovell wants to retreat and lose ground. Gee, that was a dangerous kick. Bruce did well to get it to Howe. And they come this side. Urquhart's got it now to O'Dwyer. He's got Ironspawn on. Hernan meets him, but Ironspawn has taken the mark. Now Cam Wilson's calling for it. Ironspawn taking a while to get rid of this ball. He's got Fraunfelder on. Here's the dump kick down the line. Casey's going to have to go because Hickey is the front man and he takes the mark. So I think a poor option in the end by Ironspawn.
Yeah, I think so, Lukey. Yarrawonga playing very uncharacteristically. Hickey, long down the line to a 2-on-1. Howe provided a block. Lovell chopped out. Darts the ball towards Wiley. His 40 wings disposals from Brad Freak.
He's coming up for his 20th of the game, Gus.
I reckon he's going to get close to 40 when this fourth quarter opens right up. Darts the ball out wide on the edge of the square. Urquhart, or Bruce I should say, comes in board to Wilson. Wilson wants to go laterally and he does so now. Mark Wiley, make it 21. Kicks up towards Coburn, just forward of true centre wing. Emerald Oval side. Left foot kick. He was tackled as he kicked it. Got up towards half forward. Ned Conway's there. Shimmies and shakes. Finds the right boot. Kicks the ball down the line. And the Raiders are really starting to assert their dominance on this third term thanks to Indigo Power. 42 plays 21 as they kick long down the line towards Brasher, but it's chopped out by the Pigeons.
Coburn, left foot, sends it up to the arc of the 50. Fothergill has now got it and then launches one in looking for Williams. Yes, just too strong. A great mark, Freaky.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good ball use there by the Yarrawonga Pigeons. We saw then as well, Coburn had the ball, hit the short option of Fothergill, who then, by hitting that shorter option about 60 metres out, it brings those Raider defenders up the ground and they can't fill that hole in front of Lee Williams there. And he took a really, really nice pack mark there over the top of his teammate, Matt Casey, as well. So Lee Williams been looking to hopefully be able to get one through the big sticks.
Yeah, to the cricket hub end. So he's got 2. He's looking for 3. Yarrawonga have kicked 4-18. Now 5-18. So 48 plays 21 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. The Pigeons up. McDonald's time clock has gone close to 11 minutes on the Macca's time clock as we go back down to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket.
Yeah, the rotations are just both teams. Sorry, excuse me, I'm watching someone come on and up. Both teams had fully 3 on, 3 off then. I think Yarrawonga was great for them to get that goal because Raiders are a bit of a momentum team. They're a young team. If you give them that slight little glimmer of hope, they'll just keep running. So Yarrawonga did well to just keep them at bay. Margin out at 27 points on O&M Live. The Pigeons lead the Raiders. Into the ruck has gone Hickey. Ball falls the way now of Twycross. Gets it out wide to Charlie St John, who wants to paddle in towards a bit of space, but Mark Wiley has too much smarts for him. Gets the ball to Howe. Howe to Wilson over the top to Wiley. Put him down for a 40 wings disposal there. Freaky umpire said he got away with that one legally. Inside forward 50 the Raiders go. Burke's the target. Brings it to ground level. Bruce in pursuit for the Pigeons. Put his head over the football. O'Dwyer. He joins in the act and gets it back towards Lovell. Lovell goes by hand to Fraunfelder. They're flirting with danger here, the Pigeons. Bailey. Low chiselling kick inboard has been marked. And they're playing very uncharacteristic football as Forge wants to take the game on now for Yarrawonga.
He does. He wants Hempel on the outer side. Taps it on for Lee Masters. And then gets around Whitshead. Delivers onto Cam Wilson. Now they've got some space and some room to move the Pigeons as they go inside 50 again. And the mark is taken by Casey. Now he wants to move it on quickly into Nick Fothergill. So good ball movement for the Pigeons. And they'll be shooting at their 6th here to the cricket hub end, Freaky.
Yeah, really good transition play there. Obviously, their little play out there with Masters to be able to come back inside for Wilson and be able to find the boys in a little bit of space. When they can break away from stoppages like that, the Yarrawonga Pigeons, they can transition the ball quite well and quite easily, and just really smart ball use.
Nick Fothergill on the boot, gets it. He's kicked the goal, Nick. So the Pigeons, they go to 54. The Raiders, 21 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Have almost gone 13 in the third term on the Macca's time clock. As we go back down to you, Sky Burgess, for the Newey.
Thanks, boys. The Raiders' rotations are really coming in hard and fast. They've got those young players just coming in, coming off quite quickly. I think they're going to need to lift their intensity a bit. Yarrawonga are just starting to get on top of them now.
If we go around the grounds and the other games in the Ovens and Murray at the moment, Wangaratta Rovers up by 10 points, 43-33, and the Wang Magpies up by 14, 54-40 over North Albury.
33-point ball game, favouring Yarrawonga on O&M Live. There's that set play we spoke about in pre-game. Howe down to Wheeler, another clearance up towards half forward. The Raiders have numbers, but Willie gets amongst the action. Gets it in the Mark Wiley direction. Handballs over the top. Gets it back off his own handball with a fortuitous bounce. And he kicks up towards Fothergill, who's too far to score. Williams wants it one out. That's where he's going to go. One-on-one at the top of the goal square. Williams, he stayed at ground level. Casey crumbs the ball now for the Pigeons. And the umpires paid a push in the back. It's going to go the way of Matt Casey. 15 metres out, slide angle. Not sure if that one was there, boys.
Yeah, it was very, very touchy there, Gussie, but he just got enough in the back to be able to force him to the ground for Matt Casey there. Just a good bit of pressure there to get first hands on the footy, and the Raiders just jumped over the top of him, unfortunately, just get him in the back and have a nice, simple, we would think a nice, easy shot, Gussie, but with the way they're going today, you never know.
Well, they've kicked 6-18, Freaky. 6-18. Matt Casey's kicked 2 goals, 1 to the cricket hub end. He's put his kicking boots on in the second half. Matt Casey, he splits the middle. He's got 2. And the Pigeons, they've got 7 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. 60 plays 21, favouring the Pigeons on O&M Live.
As we touched on in half-time, you're having 21 shots and a half. Eventually, you think the tide will turn for you at some stage. They're now kicked 4 goals, 1 in this third quarter. 3 goals, 1 in this third quarter, as the Pigeons have, and they'll be looking to use that dominance a little bit more. They're up to 8 inside 50s in the 40-wing stat sheet. Raiders had that really good early momentum to have the 6 of them, but just kicked a couple of goals to start the term. But Yarrawonga's really got the momentum back in this game.
O&M Live on a Saturday afternoon at Burralee Park. 14.94 2AY. Wiley gets it over the top to Nyholm, and Nyholm down to Pendergast. So he's about 60 from home here at the cricket hub end, or the netball club end.
He's a serious player. He's Pendergast. Bright future awaits him, Luke.
Just getting better every week, Gussie. And then in he goes. Look at that for a kick to Timmy Lawrence. Gus McLeod just wrapping up Pendergast. And look at that for delivery. Inside 50 to Timmy Lawrence. Sky Burgess, that was great.
Absolutely, mate. I'm just watching keeping an eye on one of the boys who's come off here. He's gone onto the trainers hub, so I'll just keep an eye on him and get back to you.
Sky Burgess down on ground level for the Newmarket Hotel. So Timmy Lawrence looking for the Pigeons' 8th. 60 plays 21. The hoop's up, and that is the Pigeons' 8th. 66-21, Yarrawonga lead. That's a double for Timmy Lawrence. And the Macca's time clock's gone about 16 in the third term as we go back to Brad Freak.
Yeah, Mark Wiley up to 6 disposals in this third quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet. Takes him to 23 for the game. In my opinion, he's probably been Yarrawonga's best player for today. The other players that have got plenty of ball, Cam Wilson's get busy. He's had 4 disposals. 3 disposals to Masters and Harry Wheeler as well. But on the Raiders side, Ned Conway's kept his good form up from the second term, having 5 disposals in this second quarter as well. Third quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet.
A game-high lead of 45 points to the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Goals to Fothergill, as well as 3 to Williams, 2 to Lawrence and 2 to Casey. Back in the centre. The Raiders have numbers. The handball over the top, trying to find Scott was poor. Smith come through. Got it towards Waters, who switches the ball out wide via Twycross. The ball's been marked here by Whitstead. Or Bowish, I should say. Gets the ball back on a 1-2. They're playing exciting footy here, the Raiders. Up towards half forward. O'Dwyer was clever. Little underground handball. Got it back on the receive to Fothergill. He finds Bruce on the edge of the defensive 50. Right foot kick up the line was good. He found Bailey Fraunfelder. who wants to open up the corridor because he's got Willie Wheeler right on the edge of the cricket pitch. Uses Willie. Now he switches out wide and the kick works out beautifully for Einspawn. Einspawn kicks up towards half forward. Pendergast is on the lead. Casey wants it one out, but he darts the eyes beautifully. Lowers them and finds Coburn, who's 45 from home. And this is well within range for Braden. He needs to go back and have a set shot, but he chips it in towards space to Pendergast. And that's a little delayed 1-2. Ned's going to have a set shot. 40 metres out. Caught directly in front.
Beautiful switch of play in the middle of the ground there over to Willie Wheeler. They just opened the play up, quickly on kick on to Ryan Einspawn that was able to find the Ned Pendergast, who then got it onto Coburn. He did the 1-2 with him, gave him back an easy shot at goal. Probably one, again, that's the way the Yarrawonga should be looking to play, just been able to lower their eyes a little bit, not bombing it in long, and they've been able to pick their way through the Raiders when they've been able to do that.
Pendergast to the cricket hub ends. It's across the face for a minor score. So Ned, he registers his first score contribution of the day with a minor score. Yarrawonga 8-19. They might have a chance to get the ball back into play here, but the Raiders have numbers. They'll exit defensive 50 via Waters, Lukey.
And he tried to get it to Phillips, Gussie. Ball came out the back of the contest. Glass. Then Morey quickly on the left boot for the Pigeons. Inside 50. Waters, and then swinging around, got the handball out the back to Daly, then on to Smith. Now Jamison Scott, he's got him in reserve, but he doesn't use him. He goes longer to Kotzer, had to go two hands at that. One probably wasn't good enough, and then Conway out the back to Smith. Jamison Scott, Fothergill's got him, and he's gone. So the Pigeons get it on their half-forward flank. Now he's got Morey on, gets him. Logan. He's about 80 out, now puts it on the left boot, sends it in for an entry. Casey went through his hands, ended up with a Raider on the ground. And it has been tied up, and the umpire is going to have it just adjacent to the scoreboard. We'll go back down to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket. Much action down there at the moment, Sky?
No, both boundaries are pretty calm at the moment. I've just noticed Raiders have made a little bit of a tactical move. They've put Nick Brasher down in the back line, so hopefully you might be able to help the boys close some of those gaps down there.
Harry Wheeler snaps on goal and misses to the near side. Brad Freak around the grounds, McRae Motors.
Yeah, up in McNamara Reserve, the Saints have a 2-point lead over the Wangaratta Rovers, 71-69, 21 minutes gone in the third quarter of that game there at the moment.
Wow, absolute thriller. Kicking from fullback was poor via the Raiders. Ryan Einspawn chops out. He's got a lead emerging. He wants to kick it towards him. That's a beautiful bit of play. That's Yarrawonga at their best. Timmy Lawrence, he marks 25 metres out in the slide angle, favouring the left footer.
Been a lot better going forward in this third quarter. The Yarrawonga Pigeons are 12 inside 50s for 6 marks inside forward 50. Just been a lot more efficient and been able to give themselves better opportunities than what they did in that first half.
Timmy Lawrence snaps and he misses to the near side. Yarrawonga 8-21-69 to 3-3-21. That's on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard, Lukey. Kick it up the big sticks, mate.
That's it, Gussie. Yeah, 8-21.
Big sticks, middle ones.
That's it. They're the ones they've got to try and aim between, but it's just not working today, is it?
Three behind for Timmy Lawrence.
Einspawn. Near centre half forward, just this side of it. Now sends it in. Look at that high ball. He's gone to a one-on-one with Nick Fothergill and Waters. I don't know if that was the option. Very wide too. And Conway, I should say, goes back to Phillips. So the Raiders deep in their back pocket.
Not many options present. Dangerous kick. It's well read by Cooper Smith. He's in front of the glass house here at the Birrelea Park in Wodonga. That's probably not the kick the Raiders were optimistic of. Kotzer and Squizzy Taylor make a contest. Jamison Scott comes through. Handball trying to find Charlie St John, but it works out okay as it goes over the top to Squizzy Taylor. Squizzy goes to the 1-2 and he finds Twycross. Inside forward 50 go the Raiders. They need to get a nice bounce here. They get it. Whitsted. And he couldn't quite get the bounce to fall his way, Lukey. It was going to pop up and potentially have a goal-scoring opportunity, but in the end, it's going to be a boundary throwing deep in the pocket for the Raiders.
Yeah, just eluded him the footy there. That nice, easy bounce. Would have had a quick shot for his third, trying to keep his third of the quarter as well, young Whitsted. He's been really, really good in this third term for the Raiders.
Let's have a look what happens here. Action at the Emerald Avenue end. As the boundary umpire comes in, Hickey, got it down in front. A lot of numbers around this ball. And they stack on. and the umpire's going to call for it. So he will have a stoppage. So 69 plays 21 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. The hoop's up. We've gone about 22 in the third term on the Macca's time clock. This is round 4 action at Burralee Park. O&M. And Whitsett, O'Dwyer now. Phillips grabbed him as he got his kick away. Good mark from Jamison Scott from the Raiders. And Gussie, they have a chance to set something up.
They certainly do. He's definitely too far to score, he's young Jamison Scott. Umpire calls him to play on, so he's got to go on the near side. Not the best kick. Threw it on the outside of the boot. And that's the experience of the Pigeons coming to the forefront. Willie Wheeler chops out, runs inboard and switches the football out wide to the western side, and Coburn marks across half-back. Left foot kick is a good one. Up towards Masters, who probably waited for it a little bit too much. Squizzy Taylor chops out, kicks inside, forward 50. And thank goodness for Lockie Howe. He's chopped out once again and taken a strong mark in defence. Deep in the pocket for the Pigeons, he comes inboard to O'Dwyer.
He does in the 21 Guernsey for the hoops. And brings it to Winespawn, so deep back pocket. Emerald Avenue end, he's got Forge on. Now Cam Wilson's the next option down the line, but he's looking inboard. That's where he wants to angle. Forge, yeah, gets her cut, so that's okay, so they keep possession. So slow in their ball movement here. Forge has run on. Good footy. Phillips was closing, but he got his kick away down to Alex Daly, so it's turned over directly. And the Raiders win it, and they go to Nick Brasher, Gussie.
Brasher, as Sky Burgess alluded to, has gone behind the footy to help consolidate the big tall presence the Pigeons carry. Raiders football out wide. Far side, Hernan's the target. Bit too much on it for him. Pinballing around, coming through now is Masters. Chops out. Looks inboard, finds Wheeler. This is Harry. His 40 wings disposals, Brad.
He's had 15 for the game, Gussie.
Kicks inboard. Logan Morey's got off the chain. Too far to score. Left foot kick. High up and under. Casey was the target. Free kick and a whistle. And it's going to go the way of Matt Casey. And there's a Raiders player who's down. He looks a little bit ginger here, Lukey. Did you catch who that player was?
Yeah, Conway. Gussie?
I think he flew high.
I think it's Waters, isn't it? It's Waters who went up for the
right.
flying.
Sky, sorry, in the 6 Guernsey. Yeah, so the Raiders supporters weren't happy because he actually got a fist to it. He went early, but he got a fist to it. Geez, in all sorts of trouble, Sky.
Yeah, he flew up. I think it might have almost been a knee in the back that the free kick was for, because he did kind of, get a bit of assistance by the Yarra player on the way up.
So Casey's kicking to the cricket up end. He's already managed to kick 2 majors with a measured approach. Matt Casey, right foot kick on the way. Goal umpire likes that one. So does Matt. Matt's got 2. The Pigeons have got 9. And it's 75 playing 21 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard.
Yeah, really unlucky there, the Raiders. Obviously, you could think with getting a fist to the ball, just those hands in the back as he went up was probably what he got done for then. But yeah, the Yarrawonga Pigeons been a lot more effective when they're moving the ball inside forward 50, and especially a goal in this quarter as well. As we touched on, obviously, you're having so many opportunities at some stage, it's all going to swing back your way as well. So Mark Wiley on the 40 wing stat sheet's up to 8 disposals in this third quarter. He's just kept his good game rolling in this second half.
And the third term brought to you by Indigo Power. Sky Burgess, Brad Freak, Gus McLeod and Luke Francis with you on O&M Live this afternoon at Burralee Park. Back in the middle. And Howe, he does it again on the right boot, sends it forward. As Squizzy Taylor comes away. Handballs out to Twycross. And Hampel was closing on him, but he got his kick away to Fraunfelder though. So the Pigeons steer it inboard to Howe. True half back flank. Outer side. Emerald Avenue end into the heart of Burralee Park. That's a beautiful kick from Howe to Cam Wilson. And then on to Bruce. Here come the Pigeons.
They're away. Bruce stops and props and finds Morey. 55 from home. Opens up the fat side. Kicks into Williams' direction, who stood still. Umpire said it was touched. Got it to Wiley. Wiley shoots and Wiley kicks a goal. Sunjan goal today from the Yarrawonga Pigeons. And they just continue to kick away. 10-21 to 3-3, thanks to Indigo Power.
Yeah, really good play there by the Pigeons through the middle of the ground, able to get that big switch by beautiful kick by Lockie Howe as a big man. He hit Cam Wilson. Probably should have thought you might have go the other way around there, Lukey, the big man kicking, the little man kicking to the big man, but a beautiful kick and through the middle of the ground. Ended up with Mark Wiley having a nice shot at goal. And if we go around the grounds, up at the McNamara Reserve at the moment, 1 point ball game at 3/4 time. It's 77-76, favouring the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Game on there, Lukey.
Isn't it what? Yeah, an absolute cracker. So the boys up there will be enjoying that one. And then Wilson out of the middle, and the siren has gone to bring the 3/4 time break. And the score reads the Yarrawonga Pigeon 10-21-81 to the Raiders 3-3-21. So a 60-point lead to the Hoops here at Birrelly Park on a Saturday afternoon. This is O&M Live, and remember, on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
On 2AY.
Welcome back to the Birrelea Park in Wodonga. Three-quarter time and the Yarrawonga Pigeons lead 10-21. 10-21-81 to the Raiders, 3-3-21 and Brad Freak. He's got your local Optus stores, quarters best, Albury, Wodonga and Wangaratta.
Yeah, for the Yarrawonga Pigeons in that third quarter then, I thought Lockie Howe gave him first use of the ball in the middle of the ground through the centre clearances, and around the ground I thought he really covered the ground really well. I thought he was outstanding for them. Some really good passages of play started with his influence on the game. For the Wodonga Raiders, it was young Zach Whitshead in that forward half. He kicked 2 goals in the space of a matter of minutes early in that third quarter. They gave them a bit of hope, but Yarrawonga were able to fire away and actually kick straight in that third quarter. In the end, they ended up kicking 6 goals, 4 compared to what they had been doing in the first half. If we have a look at the 40 Winks stats sheet, again, Yarrawonga completely dominated the inside 50s, 15-8, but in that third term then, they were able to lower their eyes a lot more and get 6 marks inside the forward 50, and they only had 7 in the first half, and 6 in that third quarter really showed you the difference in the game when they were able to lower their eyes and find the right targets. If we have a look at the possessions getters in that third quarter, Mark Wiley's been absolutely outstanding for the Pigeons today. He's up to 26 disposals, leads the 40 Winks stats sheet, and young Ned Conway is our second leading disposal getter from either side. He's up to 21 disposals. I think he's been rated as best player off that half back line today. He's been outstanding. Some other high position getters for the Pigeons is Willie Wheeler's had 18, 17 to Bailey Fronfelder, 15 to Cam Wilson and 14 to Nick Fothergill as well for the Yarrawonga.
Sky boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel. Mark Armand's keeping the troops in for a long period of time.
He is, and he's being very quietly spoken, so not a whole lot you can hear from there. He is speaking to them a little bit about the mentality of this kind of game and really pushing out that last fourth quarter and not hanging their heads. Yeah, a lot about mental game. I think for the young ones involved, that's what it's about, and they're trying to keep their heads held high.
And what about Yarrawonga? I'd imagine be more of the same from them, Sky. They're just going to try and kick as many goals as they possibly can, I dare say.
Yeah, we really got to see good old Yarrawonga the last quarter, didn't we? I feel like they really lifted their games in turn of opening up that forward line and getting the leads coming out of those, converting those goals. It was the Yarrawonga we expected to see today.
Sky Burgess, boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel. Been really impressed with Indy Kotzer on debut for the Raiders. He's 3rd and 4th that's around the footy have been fantastic. He's going to start in the ruck against Lockie Howe in the final and fourth quarter on O&M Live. Umpire Mason Ring clears the venue, holds the Sharon aloft, and for Mac Jack Sheds, Luke Francis is taking it away for O&M Live.
Yeah, final chapter. Howe, again, out of the ruck on that left foot and sends it forward to the Emerald Avenue end. Bouncing ball now for Fothergill. Taylor quickly just handballed out to Bowie, and then Bowie tried to get across to Twycross, who got it on the second attempt, and then back to Cooper Daly, and he wants Taylor again. So the Raiders keep possession. So they're very wide here on their half-back flank, broadcast side, the Emerald Avenue end. And they've turned it over directly to Cam Wilson, so that was bad footy. And then a squaring ball to Timmy Lawrence. True half-forward flank for the Pigeons. And then a short one to Wiley.
Too far to score. Congested forward line awaits. He takes the first lead, and that's the lead of Pendergast. There's 55 from home. Pendergast plays on. Beautiful vision. Ned Pendergast take a bow. He's hit out Fothergill. 35 metres out, slight angle.
They've looked so much better going forward in this game, especially in this second half. The Pigeons, when they just lower their eyes and just find those right targets. Mark Wiley finding Pendergast, and then Pendergast finding Nick Fothergill in a whole lot of space on the other side of the forward 50. When they deliver it like that, they look really hard to break down. Obviously, they've got the big get-out kicks of Lee Williams, but these lowering their eyes when they do it, they look so much better.
Fothergill to extend the margin to 66 points at the Emerald Avenue end. Right foot kick looks pretty good off the boot, and the goal umpire likes it. Nick's got 2. The Pigeons, they've got 11. And 87 plays 21 on the Border Carpet scoreboard.
Really good game here from Nick Fothergill as well. He's up to the 15 disposals and kicked the 2 goals across that half-forward wing position. Really one of the elite players in the Ovens and Murray at the moment. If we go around the grounds, the game up at the McNamara Reserve. Early in this last quarter, Myrtleford Saints up by 7 points over the Wangaratta Rovers, 83-76.
Overcast at Birrelea Park. Virtually has been all day. Gee, I reckon it's getting colder down there, Sky.
I'm not going to lie, I'm shivering a little bit. I'm trying to keep myself warm because I find once I start shivering, my words don't come out quite right.
Okay. Willie Wheeler out of the middle. 1 bounce, 2 bounces, low again. Yeah, beautiful. Into Timmy Lawrence. Just what Brad Freak was talking about. Then over the top to Nick, and he's taken the mark. So Nick Fothergill with a chance to kick a goal. Another one. Within about 40 seconds, Freaky.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, as you rightfully called there, Lukey, just lowering the eyes, finding the right options, finding the space, not bombing it away. They're so much harder to break down. And for this young Raiders side, when you can be more worried about Lee Williams coming up, it's really easy for Yarrawonga to find these other options going forward.
87 plays 21 on the border carpet scoreboard. So Nick shooting for a hat trick. Cooper Daly manning the mark. Trying to put Nick off, but it won't work. And Nick Fothergill has kicked his third. So 12-21. 93 plays 21 on the border carpet scoreboard as we go back down to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket.
I've just been keeping an eye on Louis Waters, boys. He has actually gone out there, but when he come off, he was clutching at his ankle. He went in and got some attention on it. He actually blew a shoelace, so that's what they were running around at quarter time, finding him another shoelace. So he is out there, but he is limping around. He does not look 100%.
I wonder how much the 4-day break's going to affect this last quarter for the Raiders, Gussie.
I reckon we'll start to see the Pigeons run over the top. Wiley gets his hands on the Sharon, running the wrong way, so he's got to turn around. Kicks out towards the outer side of the Birrelea Park, trying to find Tanner Nyholm. He makes a second go of this one. Gets it to Masters, shimmies and shakes. Umpire said he got rid of the ball legally. Burke turns around, lowers the eyes, low chiselling kick up towards half forward. Didn't quite work out, but Burke regathers the footy. Kicks inside forward 50, kicks towards the goal square. And it's across the face to a minus score. I tell you what, boys, Jason Burke, he is going to be a serious footballer in a couple of years' time. His attack on the footy and his foot skills are brilliant.
Absolutely, Gussie, yeah. Just got to get the man more involved, haven't they? It's been a tough day this afternoon, but every time he gets near it, something happens. Harry Wheeler, 25 out from the Pigeons' own sticks at the Cricket Hub end, on to Willie Wheeler. And then Cam Wilson in the midst, good footy. And then back to Willie, and they go inside 50 to Williams off his chest. Einspawn, nice front and centre. Nyholm now has to get on his bike and go after it. Dishes out the back to Howe, and then a high ball going forward. Williams through his mitts. And St. John, Brad that was, gets it to Twycross, and they come out.
Daly marks on the chest. In fact, it's Smith against Bruce. True centre wing broadcast side. Plays on, Twycross. Does it stay in the field of play? It does just. So the Raiders have the Sharon in hand. True centre wing broadcast side. A kick inboard, dangerous kick. Gathered nicely. I think it was Whitseed who got the ball down towards half forward. Burke was the target. Scott tried to keep it alive. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw. And around the grounds for McRae.
straight up and down. Okay. Bowie after it for the Raiders to Phillips, who missed it. Bruce got swung without it, didn't get paid a free kick. Coburn goes in now, taps it on to Harry Wheeler. That was nice play. Clever. Misses Fothergill though. And out the back was Conway for the Raiders. Good player. And then puts it on the boot. Got taken down after his kick. It was, to be fair though, the umpire deemed. And then Fraunfelder. Bruce goes in again for the Pigeons and is brought back down. Now let's have a look here, Freaky. What's happening?
Yeah, around the grounds, Wangara Rovers a kick to goal up at the McNamara Reserve, 88-89, 1 point lead to the Saints.
14.5 minutes gone at the McNamara Reserve and 13.5 gone here at the Birrelea Park. The Pigeons lead 102-28, the Raiders, thanks to Mac Jack Sheds. Good to have Paxi and the team on board in 2023. Mac Jack Sheds, quality steel protection. Pendergast in the ruck up against Hickey. Give that one to Hickey. Wilson went to have a throw, a boot at the ball, missed it on the edge of the cricket pitch. Umpire says, give it here, boys. We'll ball the footy up. Sky Burgess, boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel. Looks like Ryan Ironspawn's quite eager to get on the ground for the Pigeons.
Yes, he's been standing on that line for quite some time now, but it's very quiet down here. No one's come off for a while, so I think he's eager to get back out there.
Good on you, Sky. Now, Hernan over the top to Mackenzie and back to Hernan. That was nice link-up play from the Raiders and down the line to the half-back flank. Bruce, though, picks it up. Goes inboard to Nyholm. Been good today, Bruce. And then Nyholm shifts it out to the outer side. Lee Masters with it. What's Lee going to do? Another squaring ball back to Nyholm. So they haven't moved very far here off the half-back flank. Into Coburn. Hard at Birrelea Park. Swings around on that left boot. Shocking kick. Just a floater. Finds Fraunfelder though. And then pops it up. Here's Williams at the back. He's favoured by the kick and takes the mark.
Luke, you're just noticing Tanner Nyholm coming from the ground. I reckon he's going to come with a bit of a hamstring or some form of a niggle. He pulled up on the cricket pitch there and he sort of boots the slit across the top of the surface. We'll get Sky to monitor that one as it plays out.
Lee Williams been good in this last quarter. Been able to nudge his opponent out of the mark there and take a nice mark. Good kick by Bailey Fraunfelder to favour his advantage.
102 plays 28. Williams shooting at 5 and he's got 5. So 108 plays 28 on the Border Carpet scoreboard. We've gone about 16 in the final term on the Macca's time clock, and we have got an absolute belter up at the McNamara Reserve, Freaky.
Yeah, at the moment, as we're just watching the live stream, actually, at the moment, Rovers have had a shot from directly in front to go in front, but have missed from 15 metres out.
The Ibis, was it?
The Ibis was. Scores a level up there. 16 minutes gone into the last quarter. 89 all. Missed opportunity there by the Rovers. 15 metres out, directly in front, and hit the post, Gussie.
Blake Pander-Escott, I don't know what it is. He has never called a dud game of football. Every time there is a close one, he calls it. It's a fact. So if you want a good game of footy, give us a call and we'll send Panda to call it and you get a good game every single time. That's a fact. Is that for a 40-week?
Bit dirty there, Gus.
I'm not dirty. I just call that great. That's just great management, if you ask me. Allow your team to shine. Back in the middle, here comes Charlie St. John. Paddles it forward to himself. Runs to 50. Kick a goal, son. Up towards full forward. Masters on the last line of defence. Trying to keep it alive. Good tackle applied on Urquhart. And the umpire says boundary throwing deep in the pocket. 108-28 on the Mac Jack Shed scoreboard. The Pigeons lead this one at the 17-minute mark for Macca's.
How you going down there, Sky? You warmed up a bit?
Nope. ready for the game to be over so I can at least walk out and meet the boys.
Okay. And then Urquhart try to tie up Hickey. Umpire's call for it just in front of the clubhouse at the cricket hub end or the netball court's end. Here we go. What's going to happen here? Bowie's got a chance to pick it up. Cam Wilson met him. Bowie, though, again. Dishes out. Twycross on the boot. No.
Yes.
Yes. It did go through. It has gone through. That's their fifth. 5-4, 34. Trails 14-24, 108 on the Border Carpet scoreboard. Net Twycross with a goal here to the netball call end. That was a good goal, Freaky.
Yeah, it was. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there, Luke. Just that mongrel inside of the punt torpedo looked like it went on the outside of the post. But
I thought so, yeah.
I thought so too, mate, but just snuck in there. But if we go back up to the McNamara reserve, Wangaratta Rovers have hit the front. The Ibis Murray made up for his mistake before and kicked the goal from 15 metres out. This time, 6-point lead to the Rovers, 95 to 89.
The big Ibis salutes for the Rovers.
Ibis.
Yeah, we love the Ibis. We love the nicknames out the Rovers. You've got the Prime Train, you've got the FUD.
The FUD.
Yeah, you've got the Ibis.
The Ibis.
And there's one or two others we can't repeat in a PG time slot. Umpire throws the footy aloft in the middle once again. Howe on the tap down. Jamison Scott's gone in the setup for the Raiders. Working his way through was Wilson. Ironsporn joining the play. Harry Wheeler to Howe. Howe shoves it out wide to Wilson. He got taken high as he kicked it. Umpire said, I'll ignore it. On the edge of the centre square, well done by Smith. Handball's over the top, but it was chopped out. Fraunfelder. Well, that's a clever little handball over the top. He's done it quite well to Hempel. The umpire's found a free kick here for a high. It's going in the way of young Max. Umpire calls him to play on now. Kicks inside, forward 50. Williams, too strong. Beat two, brought it to ground level. Fraunfelder kicks on a dime in towards Williams once again. The big fella's tracking it everywhere. Gets the ball in towards space. Coburn on the non-preferred. Finds Timmy Lawrence, and Timmy, he can't buy a goal. Stays inside the field of play. Leroy handballs to the top of the goal square. Free kick whistle. It's going the way of Big Lee, and I reckon it's for a high, Freaky.
Yeah, it's actually a sling tackle there, Gussie, but they've played on the advantage. I think young Ned Pendergast might have kicked the goal, but yeah, Daly just down there just grabbed him and slung him into the ground. He actually hit his head on the back of the post. Luckily, there's padding down there at the moment, but yeah, definitely a free kick. Ball was well and truly moved on to the next passage of play as well, so yeah, good advantage there by the umpire to let Yarrawonga kick that goal.
Any danger? Someone chime in. Luke, you got something for us?
Gussie, I'll come back to you. I want to know your favourite nickname in the O&M. Okay, so...
I've got a couple. I've got a couple for you. Like Sam Jewell, the Jewel stick.
Well, I enjoy this. You told us on Tuesday that it's been shortened.
It's been shortened. Jewel stick's too hard, so it's just stick these days. Sam Jewell, the Jewel stick. Around the grounds, McRae Motors. The Rovers lead by a goal at the 21-minute mark of the final term.
Yeah, love it. The stick for the Wodonga Bulldogs. Then Willie Wheeler gets it for the Pigeons. Coburn spits it out the back to Morey, evades, and then sends it into Harry Wheeler, and he's taken the marks. The man on the marks, 45 out. Harry, low ball going in. Look at that for delivery to Casey. That was too good, Brad Freak.
Yeah, it certainly was there, Lukey Francis. They've been able to lower their eyes a lot better in this second half and just find those targets as they need them. So they've been able to hit the scoreboard a lot more regular in this second half than what they would have in the first half. So been clinical this second half. The Yarrawonga Pigeons for mine, Gussie and Matt Casey lining up to kick his fourth I've got on my sheet.
If he kicks, it'll be 4.
Yep. Yeah, 114 plays 34. The Pigeons up by a big margin. I'm going to ask you for... your second favourite and your third favourite now, too, Gussie.
Don't put me on the spot, Luke.
Casey has kicked the goal to the Emerald Avenue end. And he's had a good day this afternoon. 120 plays 34 on the Border Couplet scoreboard. We've gone about 21 on the Macca's time clock. We'll go back down to you, Sky Burgess, for the Newmarket.
Yeah, Mark Wiley's just gone back on for Yarrawonga a couple of minutes ago. He had quite a massive stint off this last quarter. Obviously might be resting him a little bit. And Tanner Nyholm's just gone back on. He didn't seek any assistance from the trainer when he come off. He just grabbed around that hamstring calf area, had a good, decent stretch, and has just gone back on.
Well done, Sky. Boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel. 120 plays 34 here on O&M Live. Fourth quarter action for Mac Jack Sheds. Freaky around the grounds. McRae Motors. Alpine Saints and the Rovers doing battle at McNamara.
Yeah, as they go forward, the Saints, a 5-point lead to the Rovers, 95 to 90 in that game. 22 minutes gone in the last quarter, so getting to the pointy end of that game.
We'll keep you updated with around the grounds for McRae Motors. Exiting defensive 50 nicely was Bruce to Masters to Ironsporn. Out of sight of the Birrelea Park. Right foot kick inside, trying to find Logan Morey. He overran the football. The Raiders provide some support now. Hickey was there, but the big man wasn't able to join in the action. Little kick up the line works out okay. Falls the way of Mackenzie. Umpire calls the left-footed player and he kicks up towards half forward, but Masters, he chops out beautifully. And Yarrawonga going to switch the footy to Ryan Bruce at centre half back.
Yeah, it is with Bruce. goes to Forge. So, Gussie, you've got the dual stick on top, or the stick. Sam Jules, your number one nickname. I want to get 2 and 3 off you before the siren goes this afternoon. Into Coburn, the Pigeons go. And now, ducks in to Fothergill. Half-forward flank here, the Hoops. They're heading towards the Emerald Avenue end. Nice delivery to Pendergast. Build-up's been good here. They need to finish it off, the Pigeons. Williams comes out of the lead and takes a great mark. In the midst, Freaky.
Yeah, 10 marks inside forward 50 now in this last term. They've been really unselfish and just really been able to deliver the ball when they need to. I think the 4-day break for the Raiders is starting to really come into effect of the game. There's a lot of the young fellas out there you can see on their haunches just really having to back up after a big game on Tuesday, which was, again, as you touched on, Lukey, Gussie, you were there. It was a warm day Tuesday as well, very energy sapping, and then having to turn around 4 days later. They've been really brave today, but I think just the run on the legs of Yarrawonga is really starting to get them on top of them now.
Lee Williams for half a dozen. He got 6? Yes, he has. He has got 6. Gussie, have you had to think about it?
Yeah, I can throw in another contribution. It's our man, Mirrors Lanaz.
Mirrors.
Yeah, we like Mirrors Lanaz. Mirrors. One of the better nicknames, and I'll bring you some more. We've still got a couple of minutes to go.
Yeah, good.
In this final term. Lee Williams, he's kicked 6. And the margin going out to a game high. The Border Carpet scoreboard, 17-24, 126 to the Raiders, 5-4-34. Brad Freak around the ground, some McRae Motors.
Yeah, in the game up at the McNamara Reserve, still a 5-point lead to the Wangaratta Rovers, 95-90. 25 minutes gone in the last quarter there. Could be a barnstorming finish. If you want to see that one, get on O&M Live TV on YouTube.
Wiley exits defensive 50, kicks inside the forward line. Williams dropped it on the half volley. His crumbing work is good, provides them a crucial defensive pressure. Dangerous in defence, Brasher pinballing around. Coburn wrapped up in a big tackle to get away in the nick of time. He did. Here's a go now for Willie. Chips deep into the pocket, and Casey marks 35 metres out. Slight angle.
We go around the grounds quickly to the game up in the McNamara Reserve. Myrtleford have just gone in front by a point up there, kicking a goal, 96-95, late in the last quarter.
Gee.
So it's going to be Casey to kick to the Emerald Avenue ends. Distance shouldn't trouble him. He's already kicked 4 goals today. Matt Casey. In he comes, right foot kick. To the near side for a minor score.
Been a good move up to put him into the forward half. Gussie and I had a similar thought at the start of the day, and just being able to have a second option, kicking those 4 goals, and having a bit more of a presence and giving Lee Williams a bit more of a cop out up there as well, and been really influential in that forward half for the Pigeons today.
So the stick at 1, Mirrors at 2. Who's 3, Gussie?
I'll come back to you in the post game, Luke.
Okay, mate. Conway at fullback, Emerald Avenue end. Long ball going out. He's looking for Hernan. Spilled a ground. Nyholm rolled it beautifully. Harry Wheeler. Now Willie Wheeler. Short inside to Wiley. So, yeah, it's just falling apart for the Raiders in the final term. And another one into Nick Fothergill. And as Brad Freak said, the 4-day backup is really hurting the Raiders now. They've just run out of gas here, Freaky. They've really spent their fuel tickets, the Raiders.
Yeah, they really pushed hard early in that third quarter to get themselves back into the game. They certainly did, but yeah, it really hurts you. It comes at a cost later in the game when you're pushing so hard to get back into it, and Yarrawonga's just been all over them in this last 15 minutes of this last term.
Myrtleford have hit the front by a point at the 29-minute mark.
Fothergill. Nicky's just pushed it to the broadcast side. So 128 plays 34 on the Border Carpet scoreboard. Yarrawonga with a mighty lead. The last term brought to you by Mac Jack Sheds. As we go back down to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket.
Just listening to those scores, boys, I'll be surprised if Mert win. Like, not because they can't, but this close game is really Wangrover's bread and butter, isn't it? Like coming from behind late in the last quarter. So I'm very interested to see how that one ends up.
Beautifully said there, Sky. Be interesting result up there in that McNamara Reserve. 8 disposals to Mark Wiley in this last term. He's up to 34 for the game. He's been outstanding. I think he's nearly been the Anytime Fitness Player of the Day. Harry Wheeler and Willie Wheeler, the 2 brothers, both up to 7 disposals in this last term.
Coburn, Bailey Fraumfelder it was, just belted it back inside 50 for the Pigeons. It's coming back out. Raiders And Nick Brash has taken the mark just on the defensive 50 arc on the outer side. And he goes with the long driving kick, trying to pick up Burke. Nice mark. Wonderful kick from Brasher.
Got great hands, Burke.
He has. Talented players. Got to go and fetch his own footy. Jumped over the fence.
A couple more years, as you touched on earlier, Luke, you get a bit more muscle on him getting the gym, and then a few more pre-seasons. He's going to be a real hard matchup in the Ovens and Murray.
That's it. And then back to Brasher. Again turned over though. Frauenfelder ducking inside, puts it on the left boot and sends it forward for the Pigeons. Good mark, Williams. Just too classy for Waters. He's not happy, Waters. Not sure what he was debating there, Freaky.
He just kind of got pushed off it. Lee gave him a little bit of a push off, and Waters was not happy with the not call.
Around the grounds for McRae Motors, 1 point lead to the Saints, and the stretcher has been called for Will McCarthy. The game's got another 3 or 4 minutes to go.
Williams has blown it to the Emerald Avenue end. So he has kicked 6 today, but that makes it another behind.
6-7. I was going to say the locals were pretty happy about that one, but another day, this could have been a very, very big afternoon for Lee Williams.
Yeah,
6-7 for the Doug Strang medalist, Lukey.
That's it, Cassie. 129 plays 34 on the border carpet scoreboard. Hoops well up.
1 point ball game around the grounds. The Saints lead the Rovers by a point. Back into play here at the Birrelea Park. Kick comes long down the broadcast side wing. Masters flies high, brings it to ground level. Fothergill, another 40 winks disposal. Got it onto Wheeler. The Raiders via Hernan. Here's a go now for Conway. Shimmies and shakes, and this is nice football from the Raiders out towards Glass. Glass, true centre wing broadcast side. He's got Hernan now. Right foot kick up towards half forward. Making a good go of this one was Hickey, the big ruckman. Shakes and bakes and sells some candy. Launches from 55. It's bouncing. It's goal! Sunjam goal today from Big Liam Hickey. We had no intention of kicking a goal. He bombed it as far as he possibly could, and the big fella's kicked one of the best goals we've seen all day.
Yeah, beautiful bounce as well. Just went straight on with the bounce too from at least 55. And I think the locals were happy with that one as well, Gussie. Plenty of cheers from the balcony up there. They've been really brave today, the Raiders. Obviously, the Yarrawonga Pigeons have been too strong for them, but at different patches throughout the day, they've been able to hold their own. And as we touched on, there's plenty of positives out of this game for the Raiders to keep moving forward with.
Yeah, and Liam Hickey, wasn't he happy himself, Freaky? Bearing his white mouthguard to the breeze.
He certainly was. He was very happy about that one when slot one in from 55.
Back in the middle. So, dying stages of this footy game have gone 30 minutes on the Macca's time clock in the final term at Birrelea Park. Glass on the boot, short going forward, bouncing ball. Dwyer, O'Dwyer I should say, and then try to get it to Frauenfelder. Raiders come in though. Alex Daly. He's tied up. That was Hickey on the boot from Charlie St. John. Another one. So they finish off with a couple of majors, the Raiders. 129 plays 46 on the border carpet scoreboard. It's been a tough day for the red and blue, but good to see them finishing off nicely, Brad Freak.
Yeah, certainly. Just a good little bit of passage of forward pressure again there. We've seen that plenty of times today from the Raiders boys. They've been able to lock it in and get goals from, I think, about 3 or 4 occasions in the second half when they have kicked goals. Lukey Francis, they've been able to just from forward pressure, get free kicks, just keep the ball in motion and be able to take full advantage of it when they move forward.
Around the grounds, Mr. Stokes, Poolwell and McRae Motors, still a 1 point lead to the Alpine Saints, and players yet to restart. There's a free kick and, of course, a stretcher being called. So that game's going to go the journey, and as soon as the siren sounds here, we'll take you to the McNamara Reserve. 32 minutes gone. Masters wrapped up in a tackle. Hindsporn fumbles. St. John joins in the action. And getting a kick out there as Ironspawn towards Logan Morey. He marks true centre wing out of side. Inboard to Masters. Siren sounds. 129 of 46. The Pigeons win and will cross to the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, taking on the Wangaratta Rovers with our O&M Live call team bringing you the action. It's a 1 point ball game at the McNamara Reserve.
Who have just joined us on 2AY. The beauty of the calls, Robbie, is you can plonk games on whenever you like.
And just one look, Monty, this is a real one from out in left field. Brody Philo, is he a chance of nailing a ball?
Could he score?
Do you know what he's a chance of?
Don't
He's
worry about
taken
getting
the
a
ball,
player
marking
here.
him a shot from 60.
He would play on.
So let's see how many people around that mark. Yeah, that's a really good.
Even if you can just find, if Murderford boys are distracted, even if you can find a hit-up kick just around that 50-55 to go after the siren as well.
So Sam Murray, the coach, has actually gone over to speak to the trainers here.
Yeah.
And I reckon Sam Murray is explaining to the trainers that we're not going to allow it to start here until I think McCarthy is completely off the ground.
I reckon he's doing a bit of duty of care there.
Yep.
As a coach, he's going over to see his young fellow. He's only just playing. I'm maybe second game, and I think he's just checking on his welfare because that's the main thing at the moment.
Absolutely, that's what we're really worried about. It's only a game of footy at the end of the day, isn't it?
We've been entertained already as it is, and this is if you've just joined us, that's the scenario. So
yeah, and Sammy's just told his boys to get together again, so obviously there's going to be a bit more of a delay here, boys.
Yeah.
Sky.
So Will McCarthy got a free kick.
Where are you, Sky?
Push in the back as he was advancing with the footy. He's been injured. The game has been held up,
and we're not sure what the injury is.
We're not, no.
Robbie, it must be. I think it must be head related. It must be head related if there's this much concern around him, which there is.
Look, we know there's 7 seconds left in the game. If you listen on the radio, the ball is on the netball pocket, forward flank pocket, and McCarthy obviously can't take his kick. Brodie Foley will take the kick. And there's 7 seconds from the moment the umpire calls play on. So Brodie Foley has got to either kick it real long and hope someone takes a mark, or gets knocked through for a point to level the scores, or he plays on, tries to get around his opponent on the mark and tries to kick it from around about 55. That's about the scenario I reckon might play out.
So to our new audience, who I believe have just joined us as well on 1494 2AY, Declan Bren just kicked a goal for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints to put him in front by 1 point. And since then, the Rovers were coming forward. Will McCarthy was tackled from behind by Josh Maraka, and he's come down pretty hard, and he's been stretched off the ground, and now he's sitting on the other side of the ground, still inside the playing field here. And there's a stoppage in the game. The stoppage has been now for every part of sort of 7 or 8 minutes. They've been stopped for, and the Myrtleford Alpine Saints lead by 1 point, 96-95. And we believe, through our investigative work, Robin McKinlay, that there is 7 seconds left in this game.
Yeah, it's extraordinary
finish.
Yeah, the best result will be a clean bill of health for Will McCarthy, and he's in great hands. There's 6 trainers around him at the moment. I know Ernie Tallarico is one of them, a very experienced trainer and person in the medical game. So Panda, what do you got? What around the ground, mate?
Yeah, around the grounds, just while we wait for the situation to get relieved here with Will McCarthy. The Wangaratta Magpies have blown the game open against North Albury, 18-18, 126 over North Albury, 8-8, and the Yarrawonga Pigeons, 17-27. Wow, that is 44 scoring shots. Yarrawonga 129 to the Raiders 46. So still quite a long stoppage here at the McNamara Reserve. Both teams are now broken away into their own huddles as well, Big Mac.
And Sam Murray is actually broken away from his huddle, and he's walking over towards the bench. So I think the thing that we can't afford to underestimate is, just the situation with Will McCarthy, how he's tracking at the moment. It's been a long delay, and we're just trying to update as much information as you can. He was able to be helped off the ground, wasn't stretched off, so he'd suggest it's from the body up, maybe
neck related or head related or something like that. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's just getting a little word too. We feel one of the Murph players may have been sent off for this action. So that's a word getting back. There's 5 players on the bench at the moment, but we'll find that out.
Craig Miller and Sam Murray are just about to come together here, which you very, very rarely see in the SSNA Ovens and Murray. And I hope our cameraman Dougie's capturing some of the boundary line words here at the moment as well.
I guess it'll be, is there a point, if the game is held up for X, are they possibly waiting for an ambulance?
I think it is, Robbie.
Yeah, and probably waiting for an ambulance, Mont.
Yep, and the result will stand as is at the moment.
Yeah, because it's gone after half time once the game restarts in the second half. Whoever's in front.
Can
And
Put in the WhatsApp.
it may be common sense to not resume the game, given that there's still concerns about Will McCarthy at the moment. So, and to be
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.